throw for the end zone. Touchdown, Parker. Picked off by Xavier Howard. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! That's hard work.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and today we're starting off. I'm joined by the god of the mod squad, Rhino. What's good, homie?
Fins up, guys.
And guys, if you are seeing Rhino and other people in green, I have now officially introduced membership levels to Phinside the NFL. There's a $2.99, a $4.99, and a $6.99 level. What that's going to allow you to do is use the emojis that you've seen Rhino and others use. You'll also have a little badge next to your name, which is, of course, the Dolphins logo. And there's a badge for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, all the way up to a year. So there's multiple badges that you'll go through the longer you are a member. You'll also have access to the private streams that are going to be rolling for Patreons. Now, you won't have as many perks as the Patreons do. Like, the Patreons are able to suggest show topics, et cetera, They have more perks, the Patreons, as you go higher up. But you still have perks available if you become a member. And obviously, you get to use all those good emojis that I know some of y'all, hey, Rosen with his girlfriend in a hot tub. Does it get any better than that? I mean, like, come on. And we got 6 emojis live, and I have another 4 on deck. And basically, the more members I get, I can start unlocking more emojis for you guys. So I got a couple good ones on deck for y'all. And right now, EM with the bus ticket and me calling people a jabroni. Marino with the fuck it, send it in. There's some good ones out there. So appreciate everyone who's already signed up, because I've had a great response to it. So I appreciate everyone for signing up. But let's get into it, Rhino, because there was a lot of stuff to go over today. Let's first, let's start with the new topic. And that's Brian Flores and his media session today. Now, and shout out to Drew Brew. He just became a new member. Also, shout out to Marino's GOAT. I saw you, homie. You joined. So appreciate it, too. So, basically, I believe his interview, his media session isn't up on YouTube. Is it yet, Rhino?
Last I checked 5 minutes ago, no.
Okay, so it might be up within the next hour. And if it pops up, we'll go back and we'll replay it. I'm going to open up the show after me and Rhino here go over these things to all of you guys. I'll drop the link, bring you guys on, whatever. I'll be here till about 3 o'clock, just after 3 o'clock. So we got about 2 hours and a bit to go. So anyways, let's talk about Brian Flores. Now, I was live tweeting as I sat in on the media session today, and he said a lot of interesting things. First, he started off, just talked about how they've done a deep dive self-evaluation on offense, defense, special teams, and coaching staff. And he stressed it's all about getting better from the players all the way to the coaches. And he said they got done with their draft meetings last week. Now, that doesn't mean they got done with evaluating their players. It's just the direction they're going to go. They probably obviously started laying out their big board. He also gave some updates. Danny Crossman will be assistant head coach. And he also said Golladay and Stoodsville did outstanding jobs at the respective positions. He highlighted how they're good teachers, and he said they had great dialogue over the last few months. He says, because I know a big topic for everyone is the play calling. And he said, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Rhino, before I continue on with the other points. He said, Flores says play calling will be a quote-unquote collaborative effort between Golladay and Stoodsville. And he said both have experience. And he actually pointed out, guys, that Eric Studsville, however you want to pronounce it, he would have been next in line behind Chan Gailey had something happened to Chan Gailey, whether it be he was sick with COVID or whatever, couldn't show up. I know, Rhino, we've talked about it privately, who's going to be the play caller. Did you think he kind of tipped his cap with that comment?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question, right? I mean, it's not really an issue to go into a week and game plan because the entire staff is involved in that, I assume. But the question I always had for you and everyone behind stage is, okay, it's 4th down. It's the fourth quarter. We have 3 minutes left. Are we going to go for it 4th and 1? And who's going to call the play? So it kind of seems like we got the answer a little bit with Studsville, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. All right. And apparently, okay, here we go. I've got the interview. Should we play the interview?
I think we should.
It's 22 minutes long. Let's play it. Let's rock it.
Yeah.
And we'll go over things with you guys, okay? So we're going to play the Flores interview right now for you guys. Let's rock it. I think we'll full screen it too, probably here. All right, here we go. It's about 22 minutes long.
There's our coach.
There's the guy that I love, man, and we all love. All right, so I'll full screen this for everyone so they can see it. All right. So actually, you know what? I won't, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case I get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a sec here. And I actually don't know if I shared the audio, so let's stop that. Share it again. All right, so guys, here is Brian Flores' interview from today. This is going to be a first time for a lot of you. So let's go over this, and you guys can hear firsthand, and then we'll go over certain points that he talks about after the fact. All right,
sir.
Make sure. Tell me you can hear it.
See everyone.
Yes. Maybe a little louder, if you can.
Kind of let's call it state of the union. Since we didn't speak at the combine this year. So a couple quick updates. Last couple months, as last time we talked, I want to say at the Senior Bowl and at the end of the season, talked about us kind of doing a full evaluation of our team and really the entire operation, the 2020 season. So we did a deep dive on a self-scout from that perspective, really across the board: offense, defense, special team, our operation. Scouting, everything that we felt like we could improve on. We kind of talked about.
Appreciate you, Quint. Thank you.
To improve at every position, coaches, players.
Shout out to Bruce One and Timothy.
Nutrition training. So we kind of that's kind of been what we've done the last couple months. Chris and our scouting staff, they've been great. They've been phenomenal. We just got done with our draft meetings last week. Look, with no combine and quite a few limitations this year due to COVID-19 and the pandemic. Really, they've kind of handled that without any complaint, no issues. And they did a really nice job as far as getting background, and we had some really good dialogue and a lot of great meetings over the last couple of weeks. And that is. Specific to the draft, but also free agency. Our pro department also did a nice job there. So it's been a busy time, I would say.
Appreciate you a lot.
I think we're look, we're going to try to always do everything, any and everything possible to improve our team and be as have success in the fall. Wanted to give you guys a couple updates on just our related to our coaching staff. So first, so we're going to name Danny Crossman, the assistant head coach and special teams. Danny, as you guys know, has been very instrumental in the development of this team, our coaching staff, and I'm just grateful to have someone his skill set to bounce ideas off of. He's just been an invaluable asset. I've named George and Eric co-coordinators on offense. Look, they've both done an outstanding jobs at their respective positions. Have a lot of respect for both guys. Very knowledgeable, very good teachers, and I think they both bring a different. They both have different perspectives, and that's been a good. We've had a lot of great dialogue, really. I would say these last couple of months with those two, as well as our entire offensive staff. Other offensive coaching staff changes, and look, you guys will get a press release on this later on today. So Mike Judge is going to go to from quality control to assistant tight ends. And Sean Flaherty, who was also quality control coach, will go to assistant O-line. Defensively, a couple changes there. So Charles Burks, he'll be the cornerbacks coach. Obviously, he worked with the corners, for the last couple of years. He's done a nice job. So officially, the cornerbacks coach. Austin Clark's going to coach defensive line, and Robbie Leonard's going to move to outside linebackers. Lastly, I know there's probably going to be some free agency and trade questions today. Look, I'm happy to take those, but I think you got to understand that per league rules, I can only comment on players who are currently on our team until till the new league year begins. So with that in mind,
And the new league year, guys, begins on March 17th.
Go ahead, Omar. Yep.
Damn, I didn't want the first question, but I'll take it. I wanted to get some clarity on the Isaiah Wilson move. I know he's not. Well, you can't talk about him because he's not on your team. Correct? Yes? No?
Can't talk. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Then I'll shift my question. In terms of play calling on game day with coordinator, how will that be handled? And will one be on the booth, one upstairs? Will it be a collaborative effort from the co-coordinators?
Definitely collaborative. I think that's something we've talked about, and those are kind of ongoing discussions. So we have, I would say, cemented a way of how we're going to do it. But I think, and I've always thought this just from a play calling standpoint, a lot of that, the legwork's done during the week. And I know George and Eric, George has called plays in the past. And look, Eric was
This is a key
COVID,
point.
We had the situation where we had to have a backup at every position. So Eric was preparing to call the game if something happened to Chan the entire year. So
There you
I
go.
think both guys are equipped to do it, and we have not cemented hey, we're going to do it like this. But I think we'll figure out a way that's collaborative. But at the end of the day, puts our team in the best position to have success offensively.
Al?
Hi, Brian. Thanks for doing this. Good to see you.
Halabib sounds like.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I
I laugh every time he talks, bro. Every time he talks, I start laughing.
Where do things stand regarding Ryan Fitzpatrick? And if he's not going to be your backup, what sort of backup are you looking for, whether it be a veteran, a young guy, a mentor to Tua, so forth? What are you looking for?
Specific to Fitz, obviously, we have a lot of respect and admiration for him. Look, he's tough, he's smart, he's competitive, he loves to play. That really embodies all the characteristics we're looking for here. Honestly, we'd love to have him back, but I think this is a very unique year from a cap standpoint. Obviously, we just had the cap, the number set yesterday, so those conversations are fluid. And but yeah, we're looking for somebody with those characteristics in the backup quarterback position. Someone who is smart, someone who we feel like hopefully this doesn't happen, but if he had to go in, we could still win the ball game. But there's a few guys out there that we've taken a look at them all, and we're still kind of putting that plan in place, honestly, with just kind of setting the number yesterday, and those meetings are kind of ongoing, and couple that with the number of releases that are happening really on a day-to-day basis. So we're almost re-ranking on a daily basis. So I wish I had more for you there, Hal. But those characteristics are what we're looking for: tough, smart, competitive, obviously accurate, and all the things from a talent standpoint that you need at the quarterback position, decision making, and command of the offense. But hopefully we'll get that sorted out. That's in some form or fashion. Yeah, but that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Flo. How you doing? you talked to us, I guess, maybe a couple months ago when the season ended about the quarterback situation in Tua. There's been a lot of speculation since then about whether it be Deshaun, whether it be draft, all things regarding that. Has the time since the season, strengthened, changed, impacted your view at all about Tua being your guy, heading into the season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Here we go.
About, Tua in this upcoming season. I think, you think about his situation last year, coming off the hip, kind of threw him in the fire there. I don't know, week 7 or week 8. I'm not sure exactly what week it was, but he started 9 games. I thought he made a lot of improvement really throughout the course of the season. Had some ups, had some downs, like all the rookies, and like any rookie. But I'm really excited about this that year 1 to year 2 jump, having being more comfortable, even down here in South Florida. He's got a place. I mean, look, that rookie year, you got a lot going on. You got to get a house, you got to get a car, you got to move to a whole new city. I mean, there's so many things that are going on. I thought he handled it well last year, but I'm really excited about this upcoming year, especially. Again, we got to think that he had no OTAs. He had a different training camp. So look, you guys know me. I mean, I'm all about the development of players. And helping them develop and helping them get better. And I think this time or an off season is really going to be helpful to him and really all the rookies. And I'm really excited about working with them this off season.
There's endless speculation around the country about the Dolphins trading for a veteran quarterback to replace Tua. What is your reaction when you hear and see that speculation? What should Tua's reaction be?
My reaction is, well, I'm excited to work with Tua. So I mean, honestly, I think I just mentioned that. After the last question, I mean, that's where my interests are. That's where my excitement is. So I think he's, again, like I said, I think he's a talented player. I think. We here believe in developing players at all positions, and I think, with an off season, with some OTAs, with more reps, more repetitions, like any player, or I think they develop and get better. So, and I think he feels the same way. I mean, look, Tua and I had lunch yesterday.
Boom.
So, and we and look, we talk about his family, and I think a lot of that is, that development. It's about building relationships. So, he's doing well.
Right here.
He's confident. I'm confident in him.
Boom.
And
Wow.
I think I'm looking forward to this offseason.
It's how he said it, man. It's how he said it.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, it's good to see you. You and your family are
Chili.
staying healthy. In regards to, at the top.
Sip that
you talked
Arabica
about,
roast, Tilly.
A full analyzation of the roster and offense and defense. When it comes to offense and skilled positions, just could you speak on aggressiveness in regards to wanting to surround?
Appreciate you, Joey Butters.
Offense with more talent, more playmakers, and your approach here coming in the next week.
Yeah, I think you always want the most talent you can get, the most playmakers, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game. But at the end of the day, we want. You don't need 11 stars. You need 11 guys, 11 teammates who will work together and with one goal in mind. That's really what we're looking for. So yeah, we want talented players, but we want a good cohesive unit and guys who fit well together. And that's
Appreciate you,
not
Twizzle.
always 11 stars. It's it's almost never that way. So look, we've scoured the free agency, the draft. I think we have a pretty good feel for
Alabama.
the types of guys we're looking for from a skill set standpoint, but honestly from a locker room fit standpoint as people as well, because I think that's important. That's an important factor that can't be overlooked.
Appreciate you, Greg.
And all those things play a role. But we want to improve really in as many areas as possible on all three sides of the ball, and I think that now's the time for that draft and free agency and draft. Excuse me.
Adam.
Hey, Brian, thanks for doing this. 12 months ago, you were about to embark on a pretty extensive spending spree in free agency this year. You don't have quite as much cap space. I was curious,
this is a good answer, everyone.
Or do you
that's
think,
about to come up.
You
Pay
have
attention.
The resources you need to get any player that you might want in free agency?
Again, this is a very unique year. Very unique year. Yeah, we do have some money from a cap standpoint that we can spend. But again, I mean, it's an interesting year. I think I'm going to be playing the song "You Can't Always Get What You Want." That free agency. To be honest with you,
appreciate you, Seth.
Priced out on some guys that we were looking that we'd like to have. They may just want to go elsewhere. So this is, I think we're going to try to do the best we can. We've had multiple meetings about this, and again, I would say just getting the cap number yesterday kind of sets the stage for us to at least say, hey, we're going to have this. We can do this, and this, and kind of forecast and predict, hey, said player, we expect him to get this, which I would say wipes out this amount, whatever percentage of cash we have to spend. So I don't know if that answers your question, but you can't always get what you want. I know. I'm trying to tell my kids that too. Omar, write that down.
Damn.
Classic.
Hey, Flo, nice to see you. You guys have a lot of options you can explore with the number 3 pick, whether it is to pick, one of the best players available or trade down to get more assets. What do you guys think of the value of that pick overall and what you can do with it?
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime you pick third overall, there's a number of players, another number of ways we can go. So I think, again, our scouting staff, like I said earlier, I think they've done a really great job as far as narrowing down who the top players are in this draft. We have a pretty good idea of who those are. I think everyone, or most people who are kind of analyzing it, know who those players are. We'll have an opportunity to grab one of them at least in that, let's call it a top 10. But obviously having that type of pick, there's a lot of other avenues we could go, and I think we'll explore those also. And that's we're fortunate that way, and hopefully we can take advantage.
We've got time for one more, Joe.
We can take two more. We can take two.
Look, that's my coach, baby.
Hey, Flo, what a nice guy.
What are some of the advantages?
Too bad Ruthie wastes the last
and
question.
Other offensive players to have the promotion from within on the coordinators in terms of, will you be able to build off some of the same plays, some of the same language, the familiarity? And then the second step to that is, can you talk about how you plan to blend some of Eric's running elements, George's passing elements, their experiences
it's a good
from
question.
Miami, Houston, Denver, Fly's experiences from an Alabama-based offense. So those two things, the advantages and then the blending.
Great. Great question. So from I think continuity was a big thing as far as, for me in making that decision. I think I wanted that for Tua and really a lot of the young offensive linemen and young players we had offensively. So I felt like we had that, as well as the acumen, the experience with George and Eric, kind of taking on that role as far as blending the two thought processes or philosophies. I would say, you mentioned Eric in the run game, George in the pass game. I think both of these guys are strong just offensively and defensively, honestly. So I think, this doesn't surprise me. I mean, really anyone on our staff, but it may surprise you guys. I mean, Eric says this is, I would say, skilled or knowledgeable in the pass game, protection game, the drop back game, and George is, equally as skilled in the run game, the protection game, so those conversations are very good. And there's a lot of great dialogue that goes on, and has gone on here the last let's call it, 2 months. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been since we announced that or have gone in this direction. But both guys, as far as blending, all that, I mean, that happens through conversation, which we've had a lot of conversations. And again, this is really kind of what terminology are we going to keep the same versus not keep the same? And a lot of it is, tied into what do we feel is going to be best for the players, Tua specifically, and
what
our overall offensive philosophy and how that works in conjunction with obviously our defense and our special teams.
That's freaking specific, bro.
Yep.
Yes, thank you so much.
Here you go.
Hi, Flo.
Shout out
Good
to
see you.
Ruthie. I love her, but this
kind
is
of a
not a
personal
good question.
This is the 1 year anniversary of the NBA getting shut down, and then everything kind of followed right after that. Do you remember where you were and when that news broke and kind of your reaction to it at the time and everything that's happened since?
Yeah, I want to say I was in bed watching that NBA game. I forget which one it was.
The Heat were playing. Maybe you're watching the Heat.
Probably. I was watching the Heat. Yeah, I mean, look, this has been a very different year for a lot of reasons. But I think that I try to look at the bright side of this past year, and I think as a league, as individuals, as teams, a lot of sacrifices were made to play the entire football season, to play basketball as they're playing now, to even send kids to school. I think it showed us that even as crazy as things can get and as scary as things can get, we can kind of push through those things and do the things we love to do. I mean, again, I love coaching, and that means I got to wear a mask on the field and take a test every day and whatever I got to do. That's what we do to do what we love to do. And, but I think things are changing. I think we're moving in the right direction. I think that's good. It's my kids are in a flag league. I saw Safed at a game a couple weeks ago. And it's just good to watch them get out there and run around, and you got parents yelling and screaming. I'm not one of them. Maybe I am. But
he's the man. I love this coach.
It's good to kind of get back to a little bit of normalcy, and hopefully we just keep moving in that direction. So yeah, I didn't realize it was I guess it is the 1 year anniversary. So all right. Great to see everyone. And,
look what he says right here with a smile on his face.
See you training camp.
Yes, sir. Love it. Oh, shout out to Flo. He is the absolute man. So a ton to break down there. EM, what's going on, brother?
What's good, bro? Rhino, what's going on?
Dude, that guy is 13 years younger than me. I want him to adopt me. Okay. And hey, I love you, bro. Good to see you, man. What a happy day.
Does he have you ready to run through a wall for him, bro?
3 or 4.
I hear you.
And I know Rome Gray. He's like, I didn't hear the answers to that question, but I'm hyped. Rome, basically, he was asked about blending the the philosophies of Stoodsville and Godsey, and then he went in and talked about how basically they're blending the philosophies and went in a little bit of the playbook and mentioned specifically for Tua was his wording. So
that's wow.
He's usually not that open. That's what struck me with this. He's a little bit more open than he usually is. So.
Normally he would say for the team, for the offense. That Tua. That's
well, even earlier when he talked about development, right? He talked about development for Tua, and then he said, and the rest of the offensive players and the offensive line and stuff. You know, you could tell he was really making a conscious effort to really put Tua out there and show his support. So what did you guys think of that?
You first, Ian.
Go ahead. Oh, well, I mean, you know, it's good to hear him, you know, kind of stay on, you know, to emphasize his support for Tua. It's good to see that, you know, that they're presenting a united front in that regard. But at the end of the day, I mean, Flo, he didn't say anything that I didn't expect him to say at this point. Everything he said, I mean, we all pretty much, you know, Reason, you and myself, we talked about this privately. You know, I mean, what else is he supposed to say at this point? So at the end of the day, I love to see, again, the united front that they're projecting. And, you know, they're obviously highlighting the support for Tua, which I do believe internally there is a lot of belief in Tua. But at the end of the day, man, you know, in regards to, you know, the man, I can't even talk straight, bro. The Deshaun Watson narrative. You know, I don't think we can sit here and just completely shut that door and lock it, bro, and throw away the key. So at the end of the day, I love what he said. I love, you know, again, he basically, I expected him to say nothing, you know, anything different. So it's what it is, man. But I'm glad to see that. And we talked about this before you went live, Reason. The biggest thing, the most comforting thing, if Tua is our starter, if they're going to stay the course and develop around Tua, the most encouraging thing is, man, his glowing. I truly believe they believe in his kid's upside. I truly believe that. And one thing that Flores, you know, since he's been our coach, you know, if he believes in a player's, you know, ceiling, if he believes in their ability, what they can become, and again, he's all about player development. He doesn't play around with that. He doesn't joke around with that. He's definitive, at least, you know, publicly. And again, we saw the whole, and not to bring up Josh Rosen, but we saw Rosen, the issue with him when they pivoted away from him and then they never went back. That told me everything personally about how they felt about him, his ceiling. So, and this is totally contradictory with Tua Tagovailoa. So if they stick with him, you know, that's the most encouraging thing for me, because Flores is all about that business. Again, we saw that shrewd business move they made with Kyle Van Noy. That should tell you everything, that this man is all about the best. He's about putting the Dolphins in the best position to succeed. And the fact that he's glowing and he's reinforcing his support for Tua is very encouraging for me in terms of Tua Tagovailoa's development.
Mm-hmm. Ronald says, Coach 499 donation says, Coach Flo seems excited about the position the team is in right now. He seems very determined. Shout out to Yawa Bulla. He's become a new member. Honestly, bro, for me, the Watson narrative's dead. And you know what it is?
Done. You
know what it is, too? It's not even just what he said about Tua. When you listen to what they talked about, when he talks about the number 3 pick, he pretty much basically laid it out that we will be picking in the top 10. What that tells me is they're fielding calls for the pick.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And if you're going to get Watson, that pick's going to have to be involved. And he sounded pretty determined that they're picking in the top 10, whether it be at 3 or, like you said, in the top 10. He made a point of that, mentioning top 10. And that to me was like, you didn't you stuck with 3 for the first answer, but then the second part of the answer, you kind of turned it into top 10. Right. And that was kind of where I read between the lines with the Watson stuff. Cause I'm like, if they're planning to pick in the top 10, they're not giving that pick to Houston.
But we always talk about Reason. We always talk about this since the first day I met you, bro. And again, I'm not saying that, again, I do believe they're just like all of us, we believe in Tua. But we always talk about the PR game that's always in play. I'm just saying, look, don't just sit here and go off this interview, okay, and automatically assume that narrative has been killed based off what he's saying, bro. Come on, man. We know the PR game is always in play at this level.
Yeah, but this was a different PR game than what they played with Rosen, bro. Rosen, they let you know, we're done.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying. That's why I brought up one reason why I brought up the Rosen narrative is because they do believe they're not in a situation of desperation like they were with him. They believe in Tua's upside. So, and we talked about this privately, bro. It's all about improving the team. This dude is about, and you heard him in the beginning. We conducted a thorough self-evaluation, top to bottom. What ways can we get improved on this roster? And all I'm saying is, we can all agree. Now, again, if this makes you idiots out there in Dolphinland uncomfortable, I could give a flip. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson gives the Dolphins a better chance to win in 2021. That's a fact. So it's not about it. So, okay, well,
that's where I disagree.
Okay.
That's an opinion. That's an opinion.
Okay,
That's not a fact.
Okay. Well, we can agree.
I tend to agree with you.
Because
We can agree.
He could. I know, but it is an opinion because he could get hurt and then boom.
It's a valid one.
That's true. We can agree individually. Deshaun Watson is a better player at this stage of his development. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, if they're both healthy, yeah. If you preface it with if they're both healthy, yeah, then yeah.
So with that being, and again, I could give a flip about you idiots out here coming at me right now. You can kick rocks, all of y'all know that. So at the end of the day, that's all I'm saying. You shouldn't just automatically just take this, this interview. We've seen coaches lie to our faces before. Flores included.
I'll push back on one thing, EM. The second to last question, it was a team concept question that the questionnaire had asked him, and he was very specific to bring up Tua. I think these are little psychological nuggets that he's giving us to bite on. It may be complete BS. Anything can happen, but listening to the man, watching him, I get the feeling they're all in on Tua unless something happens where the Texans are like, dude, here's a Tunsil deal. If it's a Tunsil deal, obviously you have to think about it. But unless that happens,
Well, yeah, we can't definitively say we can't confirm anything until we get to the draft and they trade now and there's no Watson trade in place. We can't say this is all speculative, but I am just saying, get out of your feelings and look at this objectively. You have to considering, again, we highlighted the reasons why the Dolphins would go in the direction, would pivot away from Tua and go into Deshaun Watson's direction is because, again, the player he is right now and the dude is just 2.5 years older than Tua. So I'm saying, don't just sit there. I see all these fools in the comments. Oh, my God. Just based off this interview, they're automatically making the assumption that this Watson narrative is dead, which is irresponsible. And I must say, and no disrespect to anybody, but it's very casual fanish in my opinion. So no, absolutely not. It's not over. And again, the Dolphins, I do believe they believe in this kid.
What's your percentage now?
I'm still 50-50, bro. I'm still 50-50, yeah. I'm still 50-50.
I was at 0.5%. I'm at 0.25.
So, anyways, I just got to add this, okay? I was told about a month and a half ago by someone connected to the team. This is exactly what I was told. Flores tells you the answers. It's just he doesn't tell you them directly. That's exactly what I was told. And I was actually told Greer does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you the answers, but they just don't tell you directly. You got to basically siphon through everything and start reading between the lines. 6 days ahead of not even anymore, right? The tampering begins in 4 days and free agency opens up in 6. I used to say about the draft. If they start going out and spending big money, I think it's going to be continued to build around Tua.
Well, I look at it two ways. You can look at it obviously from that perspective, but I think you can look at it as well. And again, let me just address these idiots again one last time, real quick, bro. No, I apologize, but see, I tell you, man, my blood pressure is just like it's sky high right now. Oh, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. They act like I'm going out here, I'm pushing for the Watson trade, bro. And these idiots, for all of you idiots out there, nobody has been more dedicated to this kid than Ian Dolphin fan. So stop it. Stop it, all of y'all. I'm seeing all of y'all comments. But anyway,
you should have added me to that sentence. But okay.
Reason 13. Nobody is dedicated to this kid more than us. Nobody. We know that. That's confirmed. That's been confirmed, and you can't take that away from us. So at the end of the day, with that being said, so in closing, please stop it. Please stop the nonsense. But anyway, you can look at it from that perspective, but you can also look at it as well. If they're going to be aggressive in free agency, you can look at it. If Watson is on this roster, how else are they gonna bring some assemble support around him? Because they won't have the draft capital to do it. They have to do that in free agency.
The only 2 points to me that stick out. Well, minus I told you and Rhino privately, and now you've seen it. Look at how many times he mentioned he's excited about the kid. Jesus, but that doesn't hold weight with me. What holds weight with me was when he talked about the coaching staff and the promotions basically being too specific. And then when he talked about the blending philosophies in the playbook in a sense, and he mentioned Tua. That's what stuck out. Not the, I'm excited. Not, I had lunch with him. None of that stuff holds weight with me at all, bro.
And I agree with that.
Those were the 2 that were like, okay, went ding with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you know what it is, EM? You know what it is, EM? I think they have checked in, and I think it's the price. And they were kind of like, screw that, bro.
You all
we're
are crazy.
Moving forward. Yeah, we're moving forward with this.
And again, that goes back to my point that I made about them having an internal belief in this kid's trajectory. That goes back to everything that I said.
Yeah.
So it's not like, again, not to bring up Josh Rosen, but it's not, it's not like they're dangling on Josh Rosen.
I was going to. So
come on, man.
Bro. Yeah.
So
I think we can all agree if it was Josh Rosen, we're giving up 3 or 4 firsts for the
I'm giving them 5, bro. I'm giving them 5. They at the end of the day, they believe in him, bro. It's just if you look at this from a football perspective, from a player development perspective, you have to pick up the phone and make that call, bro. You have to.
But
it's your job. It's Greer's job, right?
The thing is, what I take away from this, all the Watson Tua stuff, whatever happens, we're winning the day. That's the feeling I get either way we go. That's how I feel, man. This franchise.
I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, Ron? I didn't hear you, bro. What's that?
If we get Watson, we're winning the trade. If we stay with Tua, he's setting up Tua to be a success. Either way, this franchise is on the up, man, and I love it. I'm so excited.
It's a win-win. It's a unique situation. Either direction, it's a win-win for the franchise, bro. You rarely see that. I can't remember I can't recall any team being in a position like this, bro.
And Flo knows it, bro. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man, they believe in this kid. They believe in this kid. And again, I agree with you 100%, Reason. They have a price. They have a price, right? And I don't think they're going to deviate from that. They picked up the phone and said, look, we'll offer this. I think an offer has been made. And, the Texans could have said, well, go kick rocks. And they were like, okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? We'll stick with what we have. So.
I want to ask you, though, EM. Actually, before, and then I'm going to ask Damien his thoughts on this. I just wanted to ask you specifically on this because me and you and Rhino, and I'm sure Damien and all of us people who support you, we get kickback on this. And they get called excuses. Did you notice what Flores listed? All the things
absolutely
that held him back this year that we've been telling people.
Exactly.
So what? Is it excuses now when it's coming from the head coach?
He's watching the stream, bro.
I was getting ready to say, he must be watching us, for sure. I mean, because it's like verbatim things that we've been consistently saying about this kid for, this year. But exactly. My question to all the Tua haters out there, are they excuses? No, I don't think so. They're facts. This is what this kid had to deal with this year. And again, it's not making excuses. Obviously, we know Tua is not he's not a finished product yet. There is development, and Flo highlighted that as well. Obviously, he has to play better. He also has to he obviously has to continue his development. But at the end of the day, you just can't ignore the nature, the catastrophic injury that this kid had, and he's back on the field playing professional football, and it wasn't even a year removed away from the injury. Bro, that's major.
In the most messed up off season because of COVID alone.
Exactly, bro. So, no, and again, this is just the reality. It's not excuses, just reality, man. So, 9-game window, 9-game sample size, let the kid develop, let the kid get his feet underneath him, And we will be sitting here next year having this. We can have a firmer, a more realistic evaluation on what type of player we actually have. So I'm just saying, it's what it is.
I agree, man. Damien, what were your thoughts and what were your takeaways from that interview?
Fins up. Well, what I
man,
got
what's good, homie?
What's up, man? What's up, homie? What I got from it is our coach in this pivotal season 3, which is basically the season where, you know what, now there are true expectations. That's how we're approaching this, and that's what I got from it. He's basically illustrating for us how we're looking at it through the draft, free agency, as far as building around Tua, as far as all the pieces, as far as coaching coordinators that we have, how we're putting it in place, and how we're going to surround our young quarterback with all the best scenarios to possibly lead this team forward in year 3, because this is pivotal. This is what those first 2 years were all about, getting to this season, and now meeting those expectations, because now this team has expectations. And I love it. I love the assurance that he put forth about this is our young quarterback, and this is what we're doing to build forth to this young quarterback. I like also what he said about the draft. You know, we have a top 10 pick. You know, we've analyzed all the players. We know, who are the top tier players in this draft. And we're gonna, and he said we're fortunate to have an opportunity to draft one of those players. He even put it out there as far as to the Dolphins media, which is yourself, reason also as fans, are saying, y'all know y'all have analyzed them. So they know, just as we know, who are those players. And even if we do trade down, this was key, and I think reason you said this, I'm not sure if it was you, EM, or Rhino, that we're going to take one of those players, no matter if we trade back. We're in that top 10. At least we get a Godfather deal, which we can't refuse. Like a team gives us 3 future first-round picks, then you kind of move out the top 10. So we're guaranteed to get that. He didn't say it was tackle. He didn't say it was receiver. He didn't say defensive player. But what he did say is we're getting one of those players. At least something changes from a crazy offer that we can't refuse. And I think that is real key. And I think next week we're going to really see some free agency moves where it's going to benefit our team, but it's also going to give us a look and show us which direction we're headed towards the draft. When I mean that, within those first 3 to 4 picks, those top 50 picks, where we have 4 of those, that's going to really show us our approach in the draft, because those holes, I believe, will be filled up in free agency. And it's exciting to hear. I agree with y'all that we probably more than likely, I mean, it'd be foolish not to. We gave an offer, acquired about Deshaun Watson, I believe Houston, which they're putting it out there. They're not hiding this. They're not right now willing to trade Deshaun Watson. I do think that they're going to be the first team to blink in this game of chicken with them, because I think the kid will sit out if he doesn't get moved. So I think in this game of chicken, they will break the same way as Seattle is already fielding calls. I think you're going to hear news on Watson. Will probably be the last one, probably by draft day. But I think by draft day,
I think Russell Wilson's going to be a Bear.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think by draft day, because I think Houston needs to realize this kid will sit.
Yeah.
He will sit. And I think they're going to realize that. And I think they're going to have no other choice but to move him. So I think that scenario will be play itself out at draft day. But as far as us, I'm excited. Even though Watson, because of him playing now and already having that Pro Bowl career, of course he gives us the best chance to win now, barring injury. But future-wise, what we can build is a full team. And if, God forbid, something was to happen to Tua, keeping Tua and building around Tua gives us the best chance to win, to build something special. And it makes it more sweeter with the young quarterback that we drafted. And I'm firm believer. I have all confidence in the kid. And the only way this kid can fail is 2 things. God forbid an injury, or God forbid he doesn't put the work in. And I think the only way he can not succeed is injury, because the kid will put the work in. And let's go get them weapons. Pitts at number 3. That's all I got.
You know what's crazy too? Like, I know I have on this channel. I'm sure some of you three have on other platforms or whatever. You guys know I've been a proponent of defending the co-offensive coordinator move. I was the one who even texted Ballgame when he's on TD's chat, tell him, "Yo, the Rams, the 85 Rams, let these fools know what's up." And because we were all backstage when I did that, remember?
Can I chime on that too when you finish reason?
Yeah.
Add on.
A key thing that I've brought up to people is continuity. That's been a key word for me, right? With the terminology, the playbook, the familiarity, the comfortability he has with these guys. And when you hear Flores say, and I quote, in terms of promoting the co-OCs, and I quote, continuity was a big thing for me as far as making that decision. I mean, that basically, I hate to be the one to say we were telling you so, but we were telling you so, and now the coach basically confirmed exactly what we've been trying to tell you, because people were up in arms. Oh my God. But I wanted to ask you guys this. I know Damien wants to continue, but what did you guys think about two things? About how he said the play calling will be a collaborative effort, as well as the little tidbit. See, Flores tells you. He tells you, he gives you answers, but you just got to read between it. When he talked about how last year they had backups even for the coaching staff, like Godsey was the backup for Robbie Brown, right? And Stootsville was the backup for Chan Gailey. Could he have tipped his hat? I asked Rhino this. Could he have tipped his hat of who the play caller might be?
I'll let Ian go first.
Man, what he said about, again, this is nothing, this is what I fully anticipated for him to, his response to be in terms of the game plan being a collaborative effort. And I keep telling people, and I know you have as well, Reason, the concept of, a game plan being formulated with multiple individuals, collaborative, if you will. That's not a foreign concept in the NFL.
Nope.
The biggest question mark that I have is who's going to be whispering into his ear in game. That's the question. So I don't know. He might have tipped. I have no clue as to who that's going to be. But in terms of the game plan and the week to week strategy, all 32 teams take that approach. So, but at the end of the day, man, I love the continuity, because especially considering for a young quarterback, you know what I mean? If it's Aaron Rodgers, that's one thing. If it's Tom Brady, that's another. But with a young quarterback, only 9 games into his career, I like a strategy that he wants to keep everything in-house, and he wants to keep, conceptually, terminology, want to keep that familiar to Tua. So I love that approach, and I think it's going to pay big dividends this year, bro.
The way I feel is that he basically said that Godsey and both of them had experience, but he said Godsey was second or right behind Gailey. And then he said, we will work it out. So it's like a mixed bag. It just sounds like he feels one of the two will work out is the way I took it. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but.
Appreciate you, Timothy, for joining. No, you're right, bro. All right, Damien, let her rip.
First of all, I just want to make sure I heard you clear when you said it was Stootsville who was under Gelly as far as calling play. Perfect. Because something just rang a bell with me. Well, being that Stootsville is going to be the run game coordinator and Godsey's the pass game coordinator, it would make sense with Stootsville to call the plays, because our offense, especially running in the RPOs, is based from the run. So it's perfect that the run game coordinator calls the plays and Godsey's on the field with Tua being that quarterback whisperer through the pass situation. Also, when you hit it about the 85 Rams, I just want to get to something. Why getting this bell cow back is key. Who did the Rams have? They had ED.
Yeah.
Who did they have at receiver? They had a Henry Eller. So also having those two elements placed that we can base this offense off and have these two pillars in the offense, one in the passing game, one in the run game, to flourish off those things so everything can fall into place for this young quarterback. I see it, man. It's like a game of chess. How Flo and Greer has this. You push your pawns up in chess to open things up and to get to see how your opponent will react. And then bam, that's when you hit them with the rook. That's when you hit them with the bishop. That's when you hit them with the queen. And that's what I'm seeing with this. How last year Godsey and Stewsville were training. They were getting them ready and preparing them for year 3 when the expectations are real, when we have to meet the expectations. They're already ready because they're used to calling plays. Godsey took a half in the Kansas City game. He took the Arizona game, called those plays. And now everything is coming together. It's beautiful, man.
It's gonna be absolutely critical. Again, that's why I said, the structure is not, that's not, too big of not too big of an issue for me. It's again the in-game play calling, because if you look at his first year, that was the biggest issue with Chad O'Shea. Look at last year, that was the biggest issue with Chan Gailey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to get it right, man. I'm not, the structure, the dual, the collaboration. No, that's not too big. That's not an issue. The biggest issue for me. It's that in-game play calling. That's the pet peeve of Flores. He just got rid of 2 guys in back-to-back years. So that's going to be critical, who that individual was and how consistent, how consistent they are. So we'll see how that unfolds.
And shout out to Esteban with the $12.10 donation.
Shout out to the homie.
He says, "Don't like what you do, love what you do on all platforms. Appreciate you, homie."
That's the
shout out to the homie.
Go ahead, Damien.
I think this is real key with Stewsville calling these plays, being that everything's based off the run, and it also goes back. This is illustrating how we're about our young quarterback. In Alabama, everything opened up off the running game. Everything developed off the running game. And Flo is showing us as fans that we're going to be a power run-based team. That we're going to wear you down.
Let them know. Let them know, Damien. Let them know.
You down. We're going to suck you in, and then we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you with the short slant passes, the intermediate passes, and we're going to go over top because we're going to wear you down for 4 quarters. That whereas though on 3rd down, we're going to kill you. On 2nd down, on 2nd and 5, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you.
Let them know. Let them know.
You in so many ways because we're going to suck you in and pound you with the running game. And Stewsville calling these plays is really going to open things up because Godsey's going to be in Tua's ear on the field on the sideline. I wouldn't be surprised if Stewsville is going to be up in the booth calling the plays, and Godsey's going to be on the ground with Tua. And they already have that familiarity. That's who Tua was going to. I'm so excited.
Let me ask you guys this, because Larry brought up a good point earlier.
Really,
I brought
Larry?
It up.
Really?
Yeah, I brought it up on.
I
know. I brought shout out to the homie Larry and Finn fan.
Yeah, I'm trolling. I'm trolling homie. I'm trolling homie.
He brought up. I put it on screen during Flo's conference. He brought up a very good point. I actually hadn't thought about this. He said, "There goes that buzzword, excited," and he talked about, and he made the point that Flo has only used the word excited with 4 guys: Raekwon, Dieter, Hunt, and Tua.
Dieter.
What do you guys think about that?
I think he gives his answers. We just have to listen.
Larry says I did.
I know, right? But no, I'm kidding, Larry. But I think it's what it is. He's excited for these guys. He's high on their ceiling. And I think all of them are gonna play pivotal. They're gonna play big roles for us this year. And it's what it is, man.
Yeah. Like me and you talked about it privately, and I agree with you. We both agreed that, Flores probably wasn't fully on board with taking any quarterback, not just Tua at 5, right? But I said to you, and I stand by it, I think as the season went on, he fell in love with this kid as he not only got to know him, but he saw how efficient and careful he is with the football. And then you add on who the person is. And, look at all the things he identified. People want to list it as excuses, but he listed all the reasons of why this kid was dealing with such a unique situation. And, I think over the course of the season, Flores fell in love with this kid.
And you got to love Flores. We all know the nature of defensive-minded coaches historically, right? It could be Belichick early on in Tom Brady's development. Rex Ryan, you can go with Bill Parcells, et cetera, Bill Cowers of the world. They love quarterbacks that do not turn the football over. And to your point about over the course of the year, I think Flores saw number one, the talent, and also the decision making, the discipline, the structure. His game, and again, that's why we were so high on Tua coming out, was that his game is just more structured fundamentally than any prospect I've ever seen making that transition to the from college to the NFL. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Flores had to have really, really, really saw some things that he really, really liked from Tua fundamentally. And again, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say fundamentally, again, defensive-minded coaches, they're about my defense and my quarterback. Just the biggest issue, just do not turn the football over. And so he had to fall in love with him.
And we talked about it privately actually yesterday, EM. We said not enough people were making a big deal about what Patrick Mahomes said about Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, absolutely.
And if Patrick Mahomes is going to say that, what do you think the head coach is going to say?
And reason, bro, we talked about this yesterday. And you had our fan base mocking and making fun of this kid when he said that. And I was like, that again, you listen to people long enough, that casual fan side of them comes out. You just got to listen to them long enough. Ridiculous, bro. You got the best, arguably the best in this league, MVP, Super Bowl winner, highlighting that, how important that is, especially for a young quarterback.
And what else did he say, EM? What else did he say? I wish I was that. I wish I was like that when I was a rookie.
And you can even make that case. He wish he was that disciplined even now, because we know how reckless he can get at times. So, and again, you had a good portion of our fan base laughing and mocking this kid. It's ridiculous.
And also to piggyback on what EM said, look at how Tua respects the football. What I mean by that, he's not careless with the football. That reminds me of Brady through his first 4 or 5 years. So when 2007 came, when he was given those toys, he was able to be aggressive, but it was always locked in his mind. I am not foolish with the football. I know when to take my shots. I know when to be aggressive. And I can see with Tua the same thing, because he showed it in Alabama. Now on the pro level, he has to relearn those things again to be protective with the football. So when these toys are presented to Tua will be aggressive, but he won't be foolish. I compared the two. Tom Brady aggressive in 2007. Now imagine Brett Favre with those toys. Brett Favre would have probably threw 50 touchdowns, but he probably had 30 picks. Where with Tua's gonna know when to be aggressive, know when you know what, I know I can make that throw, but I might need to check down right here to get what I can get here. And then I can come back when the defense shows me that same thing, because they thinking I'm going here, then I can go over the top here. Because one more thing with it. It's just like it's also just how we say about guns. You have to respect the gun. Once you know how to respect the gun, then you'll know how to use a gun, when to use a gun, and the proper way to use a gun. Same thing with quarterbacks. And I just love where this kid's going, man. I'm sorry about that, EM.
No, you good, homie. You good. But yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted by somebody's comment somebody made a comment in the comment section. But anyway, I'm not going to even bring that up. Reason knows what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to address that right now. But man, I lost my train of thought, gentlemen. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan. Let me gather my thoughts.
I'm a little lost too.
I want to know what the comment was. I'm trying to find the comment right now.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm on the road.
But yeah. But so love again I love the united front that they're projecting. About this kid. This is a team overall, bro.
Man.
What's it? I just gotta, I wonder how aggressive, what he said about, not being able to get everything you want initially in free agency, getting outbid by, other teams or whatnot.
Yeah.
How
worry you that they're not clearing more cap?
Yeah. And also, because what I took from that, there might be a specific player that he's sending a message to or talking about, highlighting without naming him. Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
And that's concerning. And that's concerning, because I just think they already addressed, again, we have to see how it pan out. They already addressed right tackle. I felt that they should have addressed right tackle through free agency, through a trade, whatever. I just never envision Isaiah Prince being the target. But with that being said, we have to let that situation play out. They've addressed that, and I think it was two positions I felt like that the Dolphins should address in the offseason. That would give them the maximum amount of flexibility come draft time. Right tackle, running back. So, man, if they don't get a guy in free agency, man, you're gonna have to spend one of those picks on a talent, bro. And I just don't want them to be in a position where they're pigeonholed and they have to spend one of those high picks, that 18th or one of the 2 second-round picks on a running back. I just would rather address it in free agency and select one later at some point in the draft. But we'll see how that unfolds. See how that shakes out.
What's good, Pyro? Okay, so kind of segueing with what you said here, and we'll get your thoughts, Pyro, in a second on the whole Flores thing. John Clayton said on 93.7 The Fan, which is a Pittsburgh radio station. And also, remember, John Clayton was the one who a week and a half ago told everyone that Fitzpatrick was retiring. We've seen how that went. He said the Dolphins are interested in signing James Conner. Clayton expects him to sign for $3 to $4 million a year. Have we not learned from the Jordan Howard situation, EM and everyone?
That's not good.
Oh man, bro.
I will be highly disappointed if we sign James.
I mean, here we go. Like, let's just lay it out for people, okay? So this past season, he had 180 attempts for 757 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 fumbles. You're going to notice a pattern here.
Yeah.
He had 116 attempts in 2019 for 464 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a fumble.
Oh, yeah,
in 2018, he had 215 attempts, didn't even break 1,000 yards. He had 973, 12 touchdowns, 4 fumbles. Now, okay, he's averaging about 4.3 yards per carry through his career right now, but the fumbling since he took over from Le'Veon Bell is clearly an issue right now. And let's put it this way, guys. We can all agree the Steelers produce running backs the way they produce receivers. They just churn them out.
Yep.
They got no interest in keeping this guy at $3 and $4 million, and we're going to be the ones stuck with him.
No way. No.
Come on.
Agreed.
I would be devastated. And we're doing a disservice to our quarterback and our team if we sign James Conner. It's a disservice.
Has he ever reached 1,000 yards?
He had a Pro Bowl year in 2018.
First year.
No, he didn't. He didn't have 1,000. He had 973.
Yeah. Oh, well,
on 215 carries. So he's just there. He's right there. But remember, that was his heaviest workload.
Yeah.
And that was also the year where he had the most fumbles.
And he gets hurt all the time.
What year is that? Did he make the Pro Bowl? Was it 2018?
It was 2018 when he had 973 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 4 fumbles.
I think he had over 1,000 yards multi-purpose. I think.
Yeah. From scrimmage.
The Dolphins have interest in signing James Conner if they do not sign Aaron Jones. That's what it should say.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just to go off what EM said. Now, I read a report today, EM. Aaron Jones turned down $9 million a year from Green Bay. He believes his market value will be $12 to $14 million. Now, this is why people shouldn't freak out. Let's say he's taking $12 million. Well, guess what? That's like $10 million in Miami because of our state tax.
Oh, yeah.
Right? People got to deduct from the market value because of the state tax issue. So, let me ask you this. Let's say 12 to 14. Let's knock 2 off each. Would you guys be fine with paying him between 10 to 12 million per year? 26 years old.
Who you want to go first and answer this?
Roll it. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, this is my thing.
You don't want my answer. That's all you
need. He's a
top.
We know your answer.
Top 3 back in the league. He's 26 years old with not a lot of tread on him. No injury history. Probably the best receiving back also. And can proven he can run between the tackles in a physical style. You will have to be insane. He deserves the money, and it's not overpaying, and it's not a stupid free agency move by signing this guy. That's the right guy you give money to.
And
that's the right guy you give money to.
Well, what you got to add,
if you don't
what you got to add, Damien, too, is if you go watch Okay, we already know they're a heavy screen team, and they have been for the past couple of years. The Green Bay Packers, and he's one of the best. Just like I tell y'all, Lindsley's the best in the screen game at the center position. Aaron Jones is one of the best screen running backs. But if you go look at this last year, they installed a ton of RPO concepts.
Yeah.
And he was killing it. And here's another thing I'm gonna add. He had 221 carries this year, so only 6 more than James Conner's 2018 season, right? He had 1,230 yards, average 5.6 yards per carry. Okay. And then the year before, 2019, he had 268 attempts for 1,196 yards and 19 touchdowns.
Good God.
And the years before that, he had 133 carries and 81 carries. So you're right. There's not a lot of tread on those tires, but EM, let her rip, buddy.
Man. Well, let me say this. Number one, it makes me a little queasy entertaining the idea of signing a running back to $12 million a year.
You're going to throw up either way. They're going to have to pay him 10 or 12, or you're going to be drafting Najee at 18.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
Ain't nothing wrong with the 18.
But I'm gonna take a more macro approach.
Okay.
I would be more inclined to entertain to make this investment because, again, to go back to my point about the flexibility it creates in terms of the draft, your approach to the draft. So, obviously the talent is there. Then it's not an indictment on the player; it's just the position, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, we've seen, I just, that position is devalued from, is what it is. We've seen teams find players undrafted. I mean, we got a 7th round pick and we got an undrafted player that gave us, good production at that position this year. So again, it's not an indictment on the player. But again, with that being said, this year and only this year, I will be more inclined to make that investment because again, I want the flexibility that it creates as far as the draft is concerned.
Well, I got to ask you, Em, before I get Pyro's thoughts and everything here. First of all, Zachary, I guess David Culley had a press conference today, and he said, and I quote, "We are very committed to Deshaun as our quarterback. He is our quarterback." That's what Field Yates put out. But anyways, okay, he's 26 years old, all right? Are you giving him a 3 or 4 year deal, and are you having an out in the last year?
Oh, well. Oh yeah. Always you want to
front load, right?
Front load. Yeah, exactly. Because that gives you just the maximum amount of flexibility. So yeah, I'll give him a 3 year deal, bro. And 2 years, and then you have that option that 3rd year to get out of it. He'll be 29 at that point, I'm sure. Who knows what he's going to be in, at that point. But yeah, I would definitely approach the contract, and that with that in mind. So I agree.
All right, Pyro, let's hear your thoughts on what said and on James Conner and Aaron Jones. And we already know where you're headed with that, but I'll let you talk anyways.
But I think we all know that what this was heading with when they had the quarterbacks coach when they hired it.
Fry.
And then,
Fry.
Yeah, when they got Fry and plus the coordinators. I mean, the writing was on the wall what they was going to do moving forward. So I don't really think we should be all that surprised that when he came out and said it. I am, like you said, reason I was surprised at how forward he was because, like you said, and what we've been through with Flo, he doesn't put his plan out like that. He's always kind of I want to say like
tight to the chest.
Yeah,
keep it tight to the chest.
Yeah, keep it tight to the chest. He'll give you the typical coach answers. But for that, just straight out, blatant, say Tua and what we're gonna do with this guy. I'm just telling you right now, it's deaded. It's deaded all the Watson talk for me, man. Honestly. And for the Connor, I also hope that, please, for the love of God, that be fake because if the Steelers are so ready to get rid of the guy, and they desperately need a running back too. I just don't think. I just don't think that we should touch that guy, man. Because one, he's had 1,000 yards. And I know, like, given the situation, he had bells with them. But I just think that when you take into account that the fumbles and the fact that he's injury prone, I'm good, man. I don't want to touch that, especially in the running back position.
Yeah, we just went through that, right?
Yeah, you just had that with Gaskins in them.
Yeah. Shout out to Marino's GOAT. He said, I'll take Philip Lindsay or Marlon Mack way before I take James Conner. I actually agree with that. $5. I would too. I'm not. You're not wrong. All right. So the other name that's being tied to us right now, it's a big one. So Mike Girardi, and I'm gonna let EM start off on this. Mike Girardi from the NFL Network. He said, I expect the Dolphins to be heavily involved with free agent Kenny Golladay and Aaron Jones. Now, everyone blew up because his average yards of separation is 1.7, the same as Devontae Parker and Gesicki. But here's my issue, and I talked privately with EM about that whole stance. To me, I want Juju or Curtis Samuel. Now, it has nothing to do with separation, even though Juju averaged 3.1 and Samuel is obviously a burner, average 3.5. But like me and him talked about, Juju, he ran like a 4.56. Okay, this guy wins with his physicality, his hands, and like I told EM, I think he's one of the more underrated route runners in the NFL. So he's not burning guys; he's winning physically with his separation. Okay, but here's the thing, and I think EM will agree with me on this one before I pass it off to him. Guys, you have, in our case, good OCs, not just a good OC. If you have good OCs and good minds, you can manufacture that space and separation through schematics. So I'm not worried about that because when Golladay gets the ball in his hands, he is a big-time playmaker, okay? The reason why I want Juju and Samuel is because they are top 5 slot guys, and I want to round out our receiving core with that money if we're going to spend it. Devontae Parker, he's making $11 million this year, I believe it is. I think he can give you the same skill set, maybe not as high as Kenny Golladay, but it's right there. If he's healthy, and you got Preston Williams. Now, I've told y'all, if he's injured this year, I'm out on him. But he's not injured right now, okay? And here's the other thing I'll point out before I hand it over. Preston, before he got hurt, okay, he was building a rapport with Tua Tagovailoa. All right? We talked about it. Not enough people are shedding light on what Patrick Mahomes said about Tua. Well, not enough people are giving Tua credit for the veteran and big-time throws he was making with Devontae Parker. Guys, when you watch my live reactions, I kept pointing out, this guy was drawing flags. Remember, we picked on that, what was that corner? Remember, we picked on that corner that
I think that was
whatever, right?
It was the Arizona game, wasn't it? Was it Arizona?
Yeah. Was it no, it wasn't.
I thought it was the Bengals game.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the Arizona game. Anyway,
it was the Arizona game.
No, it wasn't Buda, bro. It was some guy that had.
Buda's a safety. Buda's a safety. He's not a corner.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. I thought you said
so that was the game. He either drew 2 or 3 offensive pass interference, but through the whole season, him and Parker drew like between 5 and 7 of those. And guys, that's veteran throws. You're understanding the leverage, you're understanding the coverage, and you're saying, listen, either my guy's going to go up and get the ball or I'm going to draw a flag. You do not see rookies doing that at the rate and pace Tua Tagovailoa was. That shows you what me and him have been saying. Guys, he's elite from here up, okay? So where I'm at is I believe with Preston, he makes like $850,000 a year. Parker makes like $6 million, $5 million less than what Golladay is going to have to be paid. I feel like we already have our boundary guys if they stay healthy. So investing $16 to $18 million in a guy like that, if you're going to do that, you got to move off DVP. You got to free up that $11 million, let him roll, and see.
Damien's happy.
And see what you got with Preston.
I can't wait to respond. I can't wait to respond to this.
You can go right after him. I'm going to let you. I already said I'll let you.
Oh, my God. I'm sure you are, Danny. I'm sure you can't wait, sir. Look, the reason we talk about this privately, and we're pretty much on the same page, but here's where we part ways. I'm not. Again, I've been consistently saying this about this whole separation narrative. The NFL is about playmaking. What players at the skill positions come in all shapes, sizes, colors. So at the end of the day, you have players that are bigger, that win with physicality, that win with high point in the football, that win with their long arms, strong hands, et cetera, et cetera. You have a different skill set of type of players that win with quickness, short, I can't even talk straight. Getting open in short areas, quick, twitchy guys, if you will. They come in all different skill sets. But the bottom line is you look at the player's production. And again, Parker, he's not a separator. That's not his game. How he wins, we've highlighted that multiple times in the past. His skill set is he wins with his body, he wins with physicality. I'm not concerned about how you do it. I'm just focused on the production that I'm getting from this player. So relative to Golladay, us possibly acquiring a talent like this kid has multiple 1,000-yard seasons, right?
Yeah.
And his narrative about he's injury prone, 2018, 15 games. I'm sorry, 2018, 15 games, 2019, 16 games. He only got hurt this year. So that kills that injury prone narrative. This kid is a playmaker on average since he's been in the National Football League, over 16 plus yards per catch. So at the end of the day, I don't look at it as from, now I do agree with Reason. We do need to round out our wide receiver room with different skill sets because it gives you advantages in terms of a matchup that you can present to opposing defenses. But with that being said, I'm gonna walk that back somewhat because this kid has been a proven big time playmaker. I don't want to invest $16 million. Don't get me wrong, I'm not willing to go there. But if the Dolphins choose to, if they opt to go and acquire this player and play an hefty price for him, you cannot knock this kid's ability. You can't knock this kid's production. So at the end of the day, I look at it like this. The Dolphins are just bringing in an immense playmaker, in my opinion.
And they're upgrading on Devontae Parker, right? And
absolutely.
Just to give you guys his injury history. Okay, so September 27, 2017, he had a thigh hamstring strain, grade 2. He missed 5 games. December 23rd, 2018, he had a chest sternum bruise, and it only cost him, he only missed the season finale. In 2019, he suffered a head injury in week 17, but he still was able to come back for the Pro Bowl. And then 2020, again, he had a thigh hamstring strain, grade 2 injury. And so he missed a couple games and then they shut him down, I'm pretty sure, right? They just said, we're going to shut him down, right? It was a matter of he could come back. They said, we'll shut him down.
Now, what is concerning about him, though, I think he has a hip injury reason, I think it was a hip last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So,
okay.
I
think the list kind of tells us that their priority's Aaron. And I think they might be going to second tier with Golladay. I mean, that's the way I see that. The interest.
In terms of he's a second option?
Yeah, because I think they have a set number they may want to spend in free agency. And I think they might have just given us the hit list.
Yeah. All right.
And
Damian,
again, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, EM. And Damian can roll after you. Add your point.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, at the end of the day, man, this kid would greatly enhance what we're trying to do offensively. I know it's not the quote unquote typical guys that Tua is accustomed to seeing relative to Alabama, but at the end of the day, these are playmakers. These guys they have equity in this league. Tua is going to have to get accustomed to them and not the other way around because just where Tua is at this stage of his development. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you have one Pro Bowl wide receiver, you got 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, you have a playmaker like Gesicki, you got a playmaker if they opt to keep all of them. If you have a playmaker like Preston Williams, if Tua can't get it done with them guys with that kind of talent, bro, he is not the option. He is not the player that we all envision to be at the end of the day.
Okay, let her. The only pushback I can give is, and I get what you're saying, he's got to adapt. You're just gonna probably have to give him time because he's not. He's a quick.
And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to give him all the time.
He'll have to get used to having to get more into the jump ball, tight window throw. But hey, he had a 22% aggressive rate last year, one of the highest in the league. So it's not like he's not afraid to throw in the tight window.
Yeah, and his ball placement and accuracy is off the chart. I don't think that's an issue with Tua. That's not an issue with him.
Year, right? It's going to be better this year. I'm not worried about that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Damien. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
He can make plays with Golladay. I'm not that. It's the money, bro. Especially with this deep of a draft.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree.
All right,
I
Damien.
agree.
Let her rip, brother.
Before I mention anything on what I think about the Golladay
You gotta
situation,
preface it. That's not a good thing.
I will say this. This is clearly an indictment on Mr. Devontae Parker on what the coaching staff thinks of him.
He getting started early,
These
bro.
reports are
Oh,
true.
man.
And I just want to
Oh,
reference,
God.
if these reports are true, that is a clear indictment on Devontae Parker.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Not going to say Preston because of what he
No, it
did.
ain't fair. It ain't
I'm
fair.
not offering. I'm not offering any pushback. I'm not
The
offering any
quote-unquote
pushback.
number one receiver that we're willing to spend $5 to $6 million more
Oh, Lord.
on a typical same type of receiver. This is clearly an indictment. Now,
Oh, my
that being
God.
said, my problem with Kenny Golladay is this. It's the money and it's the deepness in this position in the draft. Those are my only issues with a Kenny Golladay. It is the money and the position in the draft. I am
Wait.
go
Real
ahead.
quick, Damien. Real quick to address what you just said about the draft. Other than Kyle Pitts, and he's other than
You know
Kyle
how
Pitts,
I feel about him. So.
Absolutely. What player in this draft, from a height, weight, speed perspective, what players have this type of dynamic, that dynamic structure in terms of their skill set?
I think Reason can answer that for me.
Well, I can't
Who?
say Waddle because of the height, right?
No.
Who's my guy beside
Maybe Terrence Marshall, maybe Terrence Marshall.
It's Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman, as a rookie, has the potential.
Pitts. If he runs a 4.37, 4.39, you can put him in that.
Yeah. I'm taking Pitts out the equation because Pitts is a receiver. He's a weapon. I'm taking him out the equation just as wide receiver. I think Rashad Bateman has the potential to come in year one and do what Justin Jefferson does.
Nah, it's Jamar Chase.
I think it's Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman has showed with no talent at quarterback.
Yep, Tanner Morgan.
No talent at quarterback. And in a defensive heavy conference, which the Big Ten is. It's more than the SEC. People need to realize that. SEC defenses are horrible now. People need to realize that. Rashad Bateman has showed that he has big catch ability. He can get you run after the catch, and he can get you separation, and he can go over the top. He does everything well.
Yeah,
that's a true number one receiver.
He
That's
has the height. He has the height, Damien.
If he's 6'2", he's 6'2", 210, and if he runs a 4.37, 4.39, I know people are saying Terrace Marshall. Guys, I love Terrace Marshall. He's my sixth guy, but he ain't running in the 4.3s, guys. Let's get that. He's not. And I do think you have a point because, everyone's all infatuated with Jamar Chase. Well, guess what? He gives you everything. He gives you all the same at the catch point. But Chase ain't gonna come out here and run a 4.3, bro.
And I got to get ready to go, guys. So I'm up in the car. Yeah, man. I'm going with the wife, man. We're checking out the venue for the wedding, man. I got to get ready.
All right, man.
Good luck, bro.
Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
I hate no Parker,
bro.
Man.
All right,
bro.
All right.
I hate no Parker.
I know, right? Stop that.
Like he says, he hopes he's wrong. He says it all the time. He hopes.
So what do
he's
you think
wrong.
about EM with the Bateman answer? If he runs a 4.37, 4.39.
Well, I mean, I give in terms of arm length and height, you give that edge to Golladay, but you can't deny that when you run in the 4.3s and I would say you 6'1" and above, man, you have the ability to high point the football and all of these things that Golladay can bring. I can't offer too much pushback on that. I will say this though. Why I would lean more towards Golladay, the player, because he's doing it at the highest level. Bateman is not taking a snap yet. So, but yeah, that's a valid point. So,
Martin, what's good, homie? How you doing today?
What's happening, fellas? What's good, Reason?
What's good, man? Let's get your thoughts on everything here.
Yeah, man. Okay, so let's start with these free agents that we're gaining interest in. Kenny Golladay, EM. I agree with you 100,000%. Everything you said was on point about what he actually brings to the table as an elite piece. Obviously the injuries from this year, people are gonna just like the fair weather fans are gonna throw in that narrative of he's injury prone, but clearly he's not. You listed all the facts. And also James Conner. I mentioned it the other day because you know, when we're saying what running backs do we need to play off of the ones we have already, like a Gaskin and an Ahmed, we're talking about a power back, right? James Conner has you know, we have our doubts about him, but I've seen a lot of instances where he's literally taken over some games in which I was like, yo, you know, this guy looks like a top 10, top 15 running back. However, he just hasn't maintained a consistent, you know, a consistent string of just game by game by game, or even with the injury issues. That's why, you know, his contracts now are saying like $3 to $4 million instead of the Aaron Jones $14 million because of how consistent Aaron's been in Green Bay versus how Connor's been in Pittsburgh. But I think Connor's still a really good running back to sign, you know, just to have. Nobody likes him really, but I do. And also for this wide receiver situation, a rookie that can come in and produce off the bat, I'm gonna go with Terrace Marshall because of what he had to work with this past season with Joe Burrow leaving. He looked like a wide receiver one for LSU this past season, and I'm like, yo, if we can have that type of production out of DVP and also Preston Parker, then obviously we don't need a receiver like a Terrace Marshall because we already have those pretty much. But I'm saying a rookie that can come in and produce off the bat, just off the top of my head, I just think about Marshall because of what he had to handle at the quarterback position this past season without Burrow. So I like Marshall for that.
I just gotta put it out. I don't know if everyone saw Rashawn Slater yesterday. He did like 33 bench reps, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere in there. But the thing I think he's gonna get kicked inside. He only had 33-inch arms. Yo, y'all know I've been high on Sam Cosmi and dropping that name for quite some time, right?
Texas. Yeah.
The man just did 36 bench reps, bro.
Really?
Cosmi. Holy, and that's a guy who's played right tackle and left tackle. So
And I would draft him and have him compete
yeah, he's
with
a
Isaiah
beast,
Wilson.
bro. He's a beast. Shout out to
Can I-
Boxing Around for becoming a member. Appreciate you, homie.
What
Can
about
I
the
chime
Etienne
in?
news, Reason? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
Etienne ran a 4.4. He ran a 4.4, a 4.44, and a 4.45 or what two sales timed him at 2:15.
At 2:15. I
put
did not
on
know
weight.
he was that heavy.
No, he
did
put
not
on
know
weight.
He was that
He
heavy.
put on weight. He put
And
on
what
weight.
what were we
Wow.
telling somebody Rhino a couple of days ago about that?
Yeah.
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 I did
He's
not
Marshall
know
Faulk.
he was that heavy, bro.
He's Marshall Faulk 2.0.
Thank you, my man. My man said that, man.
I thought you was down, Damon.
I ain't willing to go. I ain't willing to go there yet, but he is impressive. I will say that.
As a receiving running back out of the backfield, I've seen Etienne make some catches. I'm like, that's Marshall Faulk right there.
Preach.
Yeah,
You know.
I hear you.
If he's there at 36, do you take him? Of course.
Yes.
I mean,
if that's all he's left,
Guys,
yes.
he played this year at 205 pounds. So he's
yeah.
There's
10
talk that
pounds.
if he drops that 10 pounds, he could get into the 4.3s.
Damn,
Yes.
that's ridiculous.
I wonder why he did it.
I
wonder
forget
why
who
did it.
he raced someone. Who the hell did he race? He raced someone at Clemson who ran in the 4.3 and he beat them.
I think it was
I
Amari. Was
forget
it
the
Amari?
name.
Was it Amari Rogers?
Was it Amari Rogers?
Probably
it might have been. It might have been. Yeah,
Nah,
I mean, still
Etienne
running
is-
back 3 for me. Sorry, guys and guys
Yes.
and gals. So
Yes, Etienne has been touted as a speed back since high school. So, for him to be at 215,
yeah,
and
bro.
still clocking a 4.4, that's impressive.
Guy's been
I
playing
got-
Fortnite
yeah,
and
that's-
eating chips.
I got a
yeah,
question.
that's
for
ridiculous.
the NFL.
My bad, Pyro.
Pyro's worried. Let's hear what Pyro has to say.
I just think that we should just kill this SEN talk right now. we all know who we getting right now. So let's just.
Oh,
let's
it was
just
Isaiah
see-
Simmons.
see it.
It was Isaiah Simmons.
Oh,
that he
yeah,
raced
yeah.
into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he ran fast. Oh, that's.
And Isaiah ran a 4.38. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He's faster than Najee.
Way faster than
Oh
Najee.
yeah,
Light years.
yeah.
Light years.
Najee's gonna be in the 4.5s for
Light
sure.
years.
And you
Definitely.
and look, and we remember last year there was reported
I
a
talked
high
to you
level of we
Go ahead,
remember
Ian.
last year, pre-draft and pre-draft there was rumored to be a lot of interest from the Dolphins with ATN. So
Yes.
I wouldn't just necessarily pencil Najee in, bro. You know
And he
what I'm
wants
saying?
to stay in Miami.
I want
I already
pencil
didn't
him.
want to
I'll use a
And
pen.
Can you imagine a backfield if they actually are able to man, bro,
Aaron Jones and
if
ATM.
they get Aaron Jones and if they draft ATN at some point, bro, I know
God
I said
almighty.
I'd rather shy away from that, but man, 4.4 at 215.
Exciting.
Man.
Well, and I would
And-
go to him. I'd say, drop some of that weight so you can get a little bit faster, bro. Because I know you have it in you. So, I mean, you know what? I wondered to myself when I saw that he weighed in like that. Did someone told him that they want more power from him?
Probably.
Here's my problem with Etienne. His vision is not very good. He's not very good going through holes.
He's just a hitter back. You're right.
If people will actually watch Etienne, he's not very good at hitting the holes. And his vision is suspect, man. He's more of a guy. The hole will open and he'll still bounce it out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you look at his game,
Thank you,
if you look at his game, though, I mean, that's the only question mark with him was how would he be able to hold up in between the tackles? So, yeah, absolutely. I think some coaches and they, I'm sure his agent probably relayed that concern to him, which caused him to put that weight on. So that's the only question mark about his game for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would agree.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going
What's
on?
up, man?
What's going on, man?
How you guys doing? Let me just chime in a bit if I may. On the Golladay thing, I like him. I like him on the receiver. I know the narrative that everybody wants to put, like we have the same type of receivers already in Preston and Devontae. But at the end of the day, though, still my biggest concern, like everyone's saying so far, is the price. The price point. What are we looking at? He's gonna command serious money, and I'm not willing to invest something in the range of anything between 13 and 17 million a year for Golladay. That's just my opinion. He's great. I would love him. He's a weapon. I would love to add him to his team, but price point, we have to fill in other needs. Like I personally would like to invest some of that money on Hassan Reddick if it was up to me. Now
let me ask Hassan Reddick. Why Hassan Reddick? This is what I can't. I've been hearing this Hassan Reddick narrative.
He's caught on late. He's caught on late. He struggled early in his career, but he, for whatever reason, 2020, he flipped the switch and he was almost unblockable.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true about Hassan. He had 5 of those sacks in one game.
The only thing I can thumb is that people see that he's a schematic fit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I personally wouldn't pay this guy, bro. Like
me either. I'm not a big fan of Hassan Reddick. I'm just saying as far as the narrative,
Hassan Reddick, in my opinion, he's a crazy athlete. Athletically, the skill set is there. But if you're gonna pay this guy $17 to $20 million a year, and you just play him primarily on the edge and think this kid's gonna get you double-digit sacks, that's not his game. That's never have been his game. Now, if he comes to a system like ours, he's very similar to what Kyle Van Noy is. He's just twice the athlete Kyle Van Noy is. But again, do you pay a player that is not great at one thing, but just good at multiple things? You don't make that kind of investment on a player like that. You make a $17 to $20 million.
I'm not talking about 17 million either. I'm just saying that I like the. I don't mind getting him. I don't want to pay him that either. I'm not agreeing on the price. Maybe
okay. My bad. I thought you said you'd rather invest that as opposed to Golladay. Golladay has a track. Okay. My bad. My bad.
I like that in Golladay first.
I said I like him. I'm not willing to pay him 17 as well. I'm not willing to do any of that. And then as far as Carson, I mean that you have other options. I think at running back, especially in the draft. That's where I'd rather go. I have, there's some prime needs that I would like to, like, we've all been on the narrative of Lindsey, of course, and we all want to address that. I'm willing to pay whatever it takes. He's a prime guy for this offense that we need. That's pretty much what I want to chime in, guys, and appreciate letting me on, and I'll continue listening.
No worries, man. Yeah, I think Lindsey is a key here, especially if, even let's say whether you want Wilson to work out, whether you want them to draft a guy at the tackle position, whatever spot they can draft a guy at. I'm not necessarily pigeonholing it to the 3 spot. Lindsey will be even more valuable to this offense if you're going to go with a bunch of second-year guys and one rookie. He's going to bring something to this offense. You know what I mean?
He's a scheme fit.
Yeah.
And especially center position. That's the quarterback of the offensive line, man.
True.
That's very important.
He's going to be our best communicator, but he's also going to be the veteran.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was about to say. Especially to some, rookies on the line, he'll get them, straightened up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a veteran. I want a veteran other than Eric Flowers on this defensive line, whether that be left guard or center, to start the season.
Call me crazy, Em. But I want Lindsey more than I want Aaron Jones.
Yeah. I agree. Me too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not because of the Najee narrative, but I really do need somebody, especially at the center position. You need somebody, that veteran presence on that offensive line.
This is where I would offer a little pushback on that reason. I would rather go if Tooney is really an option, and I think probably more than likely he is.
Yeah.
I would rather go Tooney because I'm really high on Michael Dieter's upside, bro. I really am, and I think this coaching staff is as well. So I don't. Not to say that the possibility of acquiring Lindsey is not on the table, but I think they are high on Dieter's upside, bro.
See, but here's my pushback to you. Hold on. We've been on other platforms, and you've said especially specifically with Penei Sewell, and the Ramchuk and all that, you wanted a guy who was proven. Well, Lindsey's proven at the position. Dieter's not. We've never even seen him snap a football, let alone point out the mic, call out blitzes, et cetera. That's hey, they want to run Dieter at guard. From what I saw, the man was moving mountains. I'm here for it, bro.
Right.
No, and I wanted to add.
That's legitimate. That's legitimate. I can't.
In the drive. I wanted to add something to what reason.
Hold on a sec. Let Ian respond because I was talking directly to him, and then you can go, Irving.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, bro. I mean, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And again, I'm projecting a lot with Michael Dieter. I'm projecting a lot. So, with that being said, I think, considering Lindsey's age, okay, he's 29 years old. I just think those funds, we can get more bang. I think Joe Tooney will have more of an impact on this line than what a center would. I think, and then again, I'm projecting a lot with Michael Dieter, a lot. But
Tooney's 28 too, though, right?
Yeah, Tooney is 28. Yeah, but I look at his familiarity with Flores, his ability to play in a power or zone-based schemes. Who's to say Lindsey? I'm sure can as well, but I just think, man, like I said, the familiarity with Coach Flores. Tooney has, I think he obviously he's done it longer. He's been playing at a higher level, than what Lindsey has. And I just really, and again, I'm projecting with Dieter, but I just love Dieter. Dieter's upside relative to the center position.
Well, I mean, I can give you pushback on the higher level. Lindsey's the only all pro of any position in this market right now, coming off an all-pro season.
I would agree.
And here's what I've said to you. You know what I've said to you, EM? I've said, create the space, make Kinley your swing guard, and sign Tooney and Lindsey,
I know, right,
bro.
I know, right? Yeah, but I wanted to point out something real quick. You're right about that. But I hear what you're saying, but You have guys like Jason Peters that are still playing, at a somewhat high level, or at least very adequately at age 38. He's like 39 now. So I'm not worried about Lindsley's age, but I wanted to add to what Reason was saying. I know I've been saying this to guys like, Rhino. I've said this on Larry's show, to Ball Game and stuff like that. And that people say that one of Tua's main problems is reading the defenses, especially pre-snap. Well, let's say hypothetically that's the argument. Let's say that people are right. Well, you bring in a guy like Lindsley, who was one of the best, especially at the All-Pro at communication. Especially, he can improve the communication within the interior O-line, and he can help Tua, by pointing out like Reason was saying, can point out the stunts, can point out where the blitz is coming from. He can identify the mic, and stuff like that. And it could help Tua, read those defenses pre-snap and help him execute the game plan. So I agree with a lot of what Reason is saying, but you bring some good points as well, yeah. But I think that's the advantage of getting a guy like Lindsley, and he's a scheme fit. He's a versatile guy. He's familiar with running that RPO based system, running the screen game. So I mean, he's I think he's for us. He's our best option at this point.
How y'all doing?
That's legit. That's legitimate. That's legit.
How much would Tony cost?
Well, the market last year was, from what I understand, he was going to be around Flowers' price, which was $10.5 million. So I think him and Lindsley are basically going to be around the same price. Probably you're looking in the 11 million range.
We need to trade Flowers.
I've already said, give me an Isaiah Wilson trade. I'll swap sevenths and add Flowers to the package. Let's go.
We'll give him a 7 and give him Flowers.
Yeah, we'll take a bag.
We'll pay them a 7. They take Flowers. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big University of Miami fan, and I graduated from Miami Northwestern. Flowers graduated from there, but I still don't want him on the Dolphins. And my question was, y'all think Jakeem Grant trying to keep his way on the team by working out with Tua?
He is. He is.
More than likely.
He'll probably he is. He's trying to butter up the Tua. He's trying to butter up the Tua.
Yo, put in a good word for me, homie. Put in a good word.
Listen. I won't drop any more.
Yo, did you talk about me to Flo at lunch?
Y'all
bring me up. She was like, nah, bro, I was eating my ham sandwich. I ain't got time for you.
I am done with the workout champion, man. I'm done.
He is, bro. Reason, please. Reason, I told you. We should never show these off-season Jakeem Grant workout videos, bro. I don't want to ever see them again, bro.
Hey,
don't show them again.
Workout video. I seen it.
No, one at a time. One at a time.
I don't give a damn about you working out.
Everyone's yelling at each other one at a time, guys.
I wasn't trying to see Jakeem Grant work out. I was trying to see Tua work out, and they showed Jakeem Grant catching a pass, and I was like,
you were like, oh man, the same pass that he dropped in the game.
You know what I mean? That bomb,
right?
That bomb, right? Yeah, my God.
When he caught me, I said, "You gotta be kidding me! That's the same pass you bobbled for 4 yards."
I tell you what, though, man. I tell you what, Tua looks so much stronger in his base, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Man,
I'm noticing his arms. Man. They are bigger.
He looks so much. He looks so much stronger.
Pause, Pyro. Pause.
What do you mean, pause?
So you know it's in his arms.
I know you're talking about.
But trust me, Jakeem Grant is literally stop playing. Jakeem Grant is literally he's not even that great on special teams. Obviously, he made it to like the Pro Bowl and stuff on special teams, but I haven't even seen enough of him on special teams to say we should retain him. So. I'll let him walk. Man.
Those 2 licks he got in the Bengals game, that was Pro Bowl level right there.
Hey, but what's his cap hit?
For
what's
like
Jakeem Grant's
like just under $5 million. It's like 4.8 or something like that.
Yeah, we can get the receiver
Oh
from
no.
Buffalo for that money.
You can get James Conner for that money.
No, hell no. I'm trying.
Precisely.
Listen. I'm cutting
Man, Reed just made me swerve.
with that Calvin Noy cap allocation, in addition to if you cut Jakeem Grant, there you go, Mr. Golladay. Take that. That's what we got for you. That's about what, 12, 13-ish, 14-ish, 13-ish?
Was Albert Wilson.
There you go. I want to. You know what? I might be in the
I heard
huge
they
minority
make
here.
Wilson.
I still want to, man. I want to keep Albert Wilson. I'm telling you, man. I really do, bro.
I
lay awake. I'm gonna be honest with you. I lay awake at night thinking about that, bro.
I do. I want to keep him too. If I'm getting, he's the only one I really want to keep because we only got him for 1 year. But here's the go: if you were to cut Albert Wilson, Allen Hurns, and Clayton Fledgulum, that gives you about $6.5 million. If you were to add $6.6 million, if you were to add Jakeem Grant to that, he frees up another 3.4. So that would take you to about 10 million. Then if you restructure Byron Jones, and guys, restructure is not a bad word. That just says you're guaranteeing him more money. You're putting more money in the pocket. So that would free up another 9.6 million. So between all those guys, you would be freeing up another 20 million on our like 34.5 million that we have right now.
And I heard there was something you could do with S's contract as well that would give us a little bit more money.
If you were to extend him and guarantee him more money, the way they can spread it out would give us cap relief this year.
And that's the question. Yeah. If they do that, as we're sitting here right now, do you think they're more inclined to guarantee him a little more money?
I do, but wouldn't we be hearing about them at least working towards a new contract? I haven't even heard a fucking peep about them working. And I'm telling y'all, I brought up the prospect interviews on the finish line, and I brought them up I listed them all for you guys here a couple days ago. Yeah. My boy Asante Samuel is right at the top of that list.
He's amazing.
And Asante's going to be – Asante could creep into the first. At worst, he's probably going early second. And if you're willing to and from what I've heard, they love that kid. If they're going to invest in Asante, buy Byron, I think, man.
Byron.
Sorry, X. Sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. Well, cornerback. If you believe these reports, cornerback is definitely in play, but I just think they got the wrong guy.
Not Caleb.
on their radar screen. I think they got the wrong guy, but we'll see how that unfolds.
Asante Samuel is a beast,
I hate Florida State, but Samuels, he can play.
Yeah, he's a
beast. Yeah. I'm not knocking him. I just don't think.
And if you look at his game, he's another guy you could convert to safety too.
Yeah.
Potentially. Asante is he's one of those rare cornerbacks. Is just a dog.
You know what I think is going to stand out to them about Farley that they might not like? His like one major flaw. He's at times he's not a very good tackler.
And I've heard that before, bro. But I look at it like this, bro. Okay, I'm not paying you to tackle. I'm paying you to cover. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Yeah. He just can't be Greedy Williams.
If they catch the football, if the receiver catches the football, I'm paying you to tackle it.
Well, you know what I mean. He just can't be Greedy. He just can't be Greedy Williams because that caused Greedy Williams to slide all the way down to the bottom of the second round.
And Delpit. Remember Delpit sliding in the tackling, right?
But
he's not Delpit.
But you look at Farley, bro. He's so strong, bro. Why is he? If you look at Greedy Williams, look at Grant Delpit, okay, you understand. You look at their frames, you understand why they have issues tackling. But Farley is on another. Farley is absolutely. Man, he is bricked up, and I'm like, why is it? Again, it might be just an effort thing, and again, that might be a red flag, and it's legit. But
it might be because he's transitioning the corner because he came in at Virginia Tech as like an athlete, kind of like wide receiver.
Wide receiver, yeah. He is a conversion. He is.
That's true. So he might still be getting used to the fact that you really have to tackle out here. So he'll adapt. He'll adjust.
Trust me, him and Horn are right neck and neck for me, and I'd take both of those guys and Asante Samuel over Patrick Surtain without blinking an eye.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tell them what you heard about Louis Riddick and McShay. EM.
Oh man, this is crazy. Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw them. They were on NFL Live, I think, or I don't know what show. It was an ESPN show, but they had a panel, and Todd McShay was on there going over all his draft projections and whatnot. And he had Patrick Surtain going before Caleb Farley. And if you saw that, y'all, I encourage everybody to look that episode up on YouTube. If you look at Louis Riddick's face when he said Patrick Surtain is going to go before, is my number one corner. Oh my God, Louis Riddick was like, "Oh no, hell, I gotta call him out right now. I have to address him right now." He goes, "Please explain to me, Todd." And I've never seen this on national TV. Anybody confront Mel Kiper and Todd McShay the way Louis Riddick did. He said, "Please explain to me how." I know he wanted to say how the hell, but he said, "How do you have Patrick Surtain as a prospect rated higher than Caleb Farley?" And you know what Todd McShay's the majority of his response was? The lineage he has because of his dad.
Nah, you can't do that.
That means J.C. Horn should be up there too, bro.
Exactly.
Joe Horn's son.
I said, that was a typical casual fan's response. I said, man, I expected so much more than Todd McShay, bro. And you know what Louis Riddick was like? Louis Riddick was like, oh my God, I saw the expression on his face. We were thinking the same thing. I know he was like, I know he just didn't say that. And I know he was like, you know what? I know this is what his mindset was. He was like, look, I'm not gonna clown this fool on national TV. I'll address you personally, privately. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, bro.
You sure he wasn't trolling you?
I mean, he didn't bring up any kind of measurables. He didn't bring up any kind of technique, scheme fits, et cetera, et cetera. He brought none of that up.
Lineage.
Oh, well, his father is the lineage. His father. Stop it. Man, it was ridiculous.
I wouldn't do that.
I expected more. I expected so much more.
The only time somebody mentioned.
Well, why haven't we seen Michael Jordan's sons
pop
off in the NBA?
I know, right?
The only time you can mention lineage is with the Manning family because they just do that, But everybody else, nah, man. The trial is still out.
I'm telling you, man.
And Martin, they're a rarity for all of sports, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm telling you,
Not
but
just football.
I think Manning genetically inherited his sons or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They keep going like that.
But you see,
have you watched Arch Manning?
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to talk about.
Arch Manning's going to the same prep high school that Peyton and Eli went to.
Yep.
So he's going through the same steps, and the coaching staff has already come out and said Arch is further along than what Peyton and Eli were at that point.
Yeah.
He should be.
And his father, Eli and Peyton's brother, he wasn't a quarterback. I think he was a receiver.
Cooper,
Yeah, he was and he got injured, right, Martin? I think he got injured, and that's what ended his career.
It was some type of spinal injury. He just had to shut it down, and that's why Peyton wears number 18 to honor his older brother.
Yeah.
Reason, real quick, it's kind of off topic, but I just discovered that show. Have you seen that documentary series, The Dark Side of Wrestling, bro?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I just found that show, that program, that documentary series out, bro. I just
buddy,
got put onto it recently. Bro,
it's Vice. There's been 2 seasons so far.
What is it on, EM?
It's on Vice. It's on Vice.
Yeah, it's on Vice. Yeah. Man, bro, I saw that Gino Hernandez story. Did you see that one, Reason?
Yeah, yes, sir. Did you watch the Bruters of Brody one too?
No,
yet?
I hadn't seen that one yet, bro. That's the one.
And the Owen Hart one's 2 parts.
And
it's the first time Owen Hart's wife has ever talked about it publicly.
Wow. That Chris Benoit one, bro. That was a sad story, bro. Man.
You know what opened up for me, bro, was you ever heard of Talk is Jericho? Jericho's podcast?
Yeah.
Yo, he had Nancy's sister on. right
Oh,
before
gee,
that.
really?
Yeah, because Jericho really played a role in the whole Benoit episode and stuff.
Mhm,
And me and you have talked about this privately and publicly on Larry's stream. I was a huge fan of Benoit, bro. That crushed me.
Oh
man.
yeah, that was my dude, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that was. I'm sorry to get off topic, but yeah, that
No,
just
it's
popped in
good.
my head. I said, I
Yeah,
meant
they're
to bring this.
phenomenal, bro. They're so good.
Yeah.
They're coming back for another season, eh? They're coming back for another one.
I highly recommend it. But that Gino Hernandez story is crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. So there's a lot of speculation around his death. Actually, what happened to him? Yeah. So, but I encourage everybody to look that docu-series up.
Yeah,
and,
it's good.
A lot of
I'm gonna have to
stuff,
check it
bro.
out because y'all the reason I watched The Equalizer. I'm just saying that I didn't know nothing about the show until y'all mentioned it, so I'm gonna check that out.
That's awesome.
Yo, and actually, Rome mentioned a good one. The Von Erichs one is real good, bro.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, I can't wait for that one, bro.
Yo, it is sad as hell, the Von Erichs one, bro. Like, that family is legitimately cursed, bro.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I agree.
legitimately cursed, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we hit the 2-hour mark. I got to get out of here and go deal with my daughter. I'm going to be back tonight around 8 o'clock. I'm just waiting for him to confirm. I'm going to be back with Ryan Roberts of the NFL Draft Bible and Sports Illustrated, and we're gonna dive right into the draft tonight. But until then, let's get some final thoughts. Ryan, let's start with you, brother.
I just hope this quiets down the Watson stuff. I know it's not going to dead it, not referring to UEM, but some people just won't let a narrative go. And
but
I
here's
think
the thing, Rhino.
Yeah, man.
EM wants Watson because he believes it'll make the team better. All these other jabronis want Watson because they want me and EM to be wrong. Let's put
Seems that way.
Exactly.
Or Tua didn't make their color rating chart, so he's got to go. Well, the Jewish quarterback didn't get a fair enough shake, and Tannehill gets almost 8 years. But anyway,
dropping jewels.
Could have been damn.
The white boy's gonna be the one to say it. Sorry.
Wow. Drop that mic, baby. Drop that mic.
We're 4 days away.
That's how you really
I guess we can all go now.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, sorry, Rhino. Finish your
No
thoughts.
problem, man. We're 4 days away, so it's all coming to a close here. We're going to get some answers and fins up and keep the faith. Oh, and Flo, you are the man, bro.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. You gotta love that guy, bro. You gotta love that dude.
You know what they didn't show in that interview? Actually, to open up the Zoom call today, he congratulated Omar on the birth of his daughter. And he also congratulated Cameron Wolf, and he said, hit us up. We're going to send you some packages for the baby. So,
that's
like,
nice.
Oh, man. That's what's up.
I tell you something, man. That dude, he's a good dude, man.
He is.
He's a really good
I love that dude. I love that dude. I love that dude.
EM, I'm going to save you for the end here, though.
Go ahead,
Powerhouse, let's get your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I love this coach to death. I think we got ourselves our next dynasty coach. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft. I was excited with your comments on us possibly moving back. Hint, Kyle Pitts. So yeah, hopefully we can get a good franchise player. And yeah, fins up.
Yeah, and shout out to my wide receiver one, Jalen Waddle, for coming to bat for Tua.
Oh
today.
yeah.
You know, because Daniel Jeremiah came out and basically said, I don't know why everyone's out on him. I went back and watched Tua. He's a really good quarterback. He just needs time. And then Jalen Waddle retweeted that comment today and said, stop playing with Uno because you know he's number one, right? And what's crazy is if you look at Jalen Waddle's tweet, you can see below it came from inside of Florida. Just saying.
Dolphins confirmed, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Let's go.
All right,
Let's get it.
All right, Mark. Let's hear your final thoughts, brother.
Jalen Waddle down here getting secret workouts in, knowing he might be the 3rd overall pick and stuff. So definitely with Brian Flores. People are saying, you know, he shouldn't have came out with this interview. I love that he came out with this interview because now he's officially speaking it out into the universe. We're on track. We're on track. We're about to get this thing rolling. We're making moves. We have players lined up that we really like. Golladay, I love him. Connor, I'm probably the only one on here that loves him, but I'm glad the Dolphins
And you
mentioned him as
called
well.
that, Martin. You called that.
I did, but
No
just
offense, no offense, but I hope you're wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, we all.
I know the concerns, guys.
Yeah.
I know the concerns,
Please,
but I'm just saying.
Lord, be wrong.
I know, but I like him. And also with the draft, with Isaiah Wilson getting on this team, the trade and stuff, I'm still on this narrative. We might still have to take Penei Sewell as an insurance policy if Isaiah doesn't work, or even if Jackson. Even if Austin Jackson doesn't work, Penei Sewell is a surefire. He will be a productive player in this league for at minimum 10 years. Just because he has the mental makeup, he has the physical traits, he has the coaching with Mario Cristobal. Like I just love the Penei Sewell situation. But again, Brian Flores coming out.
And Martin, he can play left tackle, right tackle,
left
guard, and right guard. People forget he was a guard recruit coming into Oregon because he played left tackle, left guard, and right tackle in high school.
I just like the Dolphins to overdo the offensive line room. It just makes sense to me. But again, I still love Brian Flores coming out.
Trenches, baby.
And I love Brian Flores, and I hope we just steady the ship and keep moving, keep building. And even if we do get the Deshaun Watson trade, like how you all were explaining earlier, it's still a win-win because we're just heading into the right direction regardless. So fins up, man.
And this is the tweet I was talking about. If you see here, Daniel Jeremiah said, I'm sitting there going like Tua is pretty good. Like, I don't know why we've all just decided that Tua Tagovailoa can't play. The kid is talented, so let's give him a chance. Jalen Waddle said, stop playing with Uno. And then right here, from Florida, USA, from his iPhone, baby.
Yeah. I love Waddle.
He's already in the trading facility.
Right.
Yeah, I love Waddle too. I hope they get Waddle at some point.
Yeah. I need Waddle, Rondell Moore, or Pitts, or two of those three.
Or both.
Yes.
Or Bateman.
Bateman. Bateman's my boy. Yeah. I'm just saying I need that speed and that dynamic.
Yes.
But then again, if this guy's running 4.37, I'll take that all day. Shout out to Dave. He says, and then okay, we're gonna get it. Oh man,
wow.
Okay, so me and EM have talked about this privately before I get to Pyro.
This is a thing.
If you this posed by I forget who. It was on social media and such. Trading the number 3 for Jerry Jeudy and the number 9. What do y'all say? I'm actually on board for that.
I am all over that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do
they do that. You think Pitts will still be there at the number 9 pick?
Yeah, if
Waddle.
All
right, I'm getting a little greedy though, but okay.
The Eagles are investing in Jalen Hurts. Zach Ertz is on the trade block, so they could very well make that move for Pitts.
If I'm making that move, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm trading. If they do make this move, I'm trading down again, bro. Because again, if you look at how this team is built right now, we're top heavy. This team needs depth, bro. And the only way you acquire depth and build depth on your team is if you have a surplus of resources. And I'm telling you, if they entertain that, if they do that, I would be picking up the phone, calling Denver. They would have to call me, bro. Because I think I like Jeudy as a prospect better than any of these top guys, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I'm calling them.
And that's Tua's boy, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's Tua.
Oh yeah.
And that's Tua's boy. Ruggs and Jeudy were his boys. Like everybody was making such a big deal about the comments. They were making you know how last week everybody was making an issue. Well, the haters were making an issue about these guys not going to bat for Tua and saying Tua was their guy. You could, bro. They basically, I expected them to say that because they had the majority of success with Matt Jones. Tua's guys are Ruggs and Jeudy. Those are his guys. So
I got a question for you, Ian.
What's up?
So okay, we do the trade and we got number 9, right? And then somehow a Waddle is at number 9. Will you pull the trigger?
Oh damn!
Waddle and Jerry Jeudy.
So you get Jeudy and Waddle. You potentially get Jeudy and Waddle.
Well, I'll say this, Pyro. At that point, it depends on what it depends on what the compensation is being offered for that number 9 overall pick. If I'm blown away, blown away with an offer, then I'm gonna have to trade down. But if I'm sitting there at 9, that's definitely intriguing. My 2 targets will be Farley or Waddle. Those are my 2 targets sitting there at 9, bro.
I'm
All
just
right,
hesitant because I don't want to lose Sewell.
I love Sewell too, bro.
I love Sewell, but that's too good, true, man. I'm sorry.
That's bro. You gotta
it's
pull the trigger, bro.
Yeah, if you can come away with like Waddle and Judy, we would all get over Sewell pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only reason this is where I'll be Rhino. If they invest as Wilson as that answer, and he don't work out, and you pass up on Sewell, you're gonna be hearing it from Reason for
hell yeah.
Okay. So especially if he turns out to be better like Wirfs, like I'm projecting him to be, you're gonna hear it from me, bro.
That's why I want to take him.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this reason. What if he doesn't turn out, if he's not as good, but the team is a perennial Pro Bowl team? I mean, do you really, as long as we're winning, bro. I mean, again, if you look at the New England model, bro, they built a 20-year dynasty off C+ to B+ linemen. They never had a quote unquote generational talent. Is a generational talent really needed to get where you want to be? That's the only question I have posed, especially if you're being offered a king's ransom for that 3rd overall pick. No, I have to say no, absolutely not.
But I also got to push back that we're not the Patriots situation because of the draft capital that Flores has had over the last 3 years. It's a totally different. We've never seen Belichick in this position.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let me get y'all my
That's it.
my
Hold
final
on. We're going to order. Pyro, give me your final thoughts, and then you're up, Kane.
Well, I think that with Flo coming out with that, with mentioning Tua blatantly, not, dancing around the subject. I think
directly
by directly stating Tua, he just to me that right now he's just saying, guys, I understand about the Watson thing, but we're sticking with Tua. We're sticking with the plan. Trust the flow set. The flow sets, man. We gotta keep.
Him and Tua had a violin lunch, man. They good. They good. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I agree, man. But I'm glad. Shout outs to Waddle for sticking up for Tua, because I don't know why everybody's jumping down this guy's throat all of a sudden for just one season. It's crazy right now. And then hopefully he replaced Grant with the whole workout thing, because I'm done with I'm done with these workout videos, man.
Yeah.
You always catch the ball in the workout videos, but never when it counts. I'm done with you, man.
Yeah. All right, Chaos Kane, let's hear your final thoughts, brother.
Well, first, with the Jakeem Grant thing, I'm mad at EM. I'm mad at you, Reason, and I'm mad at Coach Flo, because y'all haven't printed his pass, his
Bro, I got the email. Bro. I got the email. I can't make it official until till the 17th. But I got it printed. I got the email, bro. For sure.
On a more serious note, everybody who got anything bad to say about Tua don't know nothing about football. I'm one of the people who didn't want to draft Tua because of his injuries. But I swear to you, throughout the year, in his workout, what he's doing now, he completely won me over. You got to know, first of all, we really didn't have an off season. That's from college to football. So where did he even have time to train with his receivers and work out? And I ain't talking about Jakeem Grant. God, please, I'm not talking about him. And why Preston Williams and Dante Parker not out there?
I agree. That's a good point.
Why
that's a very good point.
Want to hear something, Kane? Want to hear something? To add context to what you're saying? When those videos came out, guess where Mike Gesicki was? Fishing.
Oh God! Cut him.
He needed to be with somebody teaching him how to run routes.
Right. Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Did Shannon Sharp say he wanted to teach him routes?
I don't know why he won't take Shannon Sharp or somebody on that. He must be don't care about his job enough. Because if you out there fishing, I hope you hear me, Gesicki. You're a good player, but we need to cut your. I don't want to cut your behind. But we don't go out
and try to learn how to run a route tree. This is ridiculous.
Can I just say signing Kyle Pitts will get him fired up?
There you go.
We get Kyle Pitts. I don't.
No. Getting Kyle Pitts is gonna get him cut.
Kyle Pitts is
It's gonna get him traded. It ain't gonna get him fired up. It's gonna get his behind traded.
All right, fellas, I gotta go call back in.
You gotta say the right
All right,
thing.
man.
Buzz ticket, bro. Buzz ticket.
All right, Irving, let's hear your final thoughts, buddy. Irving? Go. There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah, go your final thoughts, buddy.
My mic.
You good? You
Yeah,
good?
we hear you, bro.
Yeah, we
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought my mic was off.
It was muted. You were muted, but you're good now.
Okay, cool. All right. No, yeah, I think all of you guys made great points today. Coach Flo in today's press conference, he was just like us, man. It was just like he's just basically repeating what EM and Reason and Mr. Ballgame and Richmond Webb have been saying throughout this whole entire year so far, that, you know, Tua, like I said, had no offseason, was rehabbing from a major injury, had no preseason reps, definitely affected his game. He definitely saw a lot that, you know, he showed a lot he showed a lot that showed potential, that showed where he can build from and stuff like that. You know, it's essentially just telling people that, you know, all these naysayers about Tua Tagovailoa, that, you know, he can't read defenses, you know, he doesn't attack the field as often and stuff, you know, the middle of the field as often and stuff. I mean, the guy had he had a 22.8% tight window complete, throw percentage. He had a 64.5% completion rate. I mean, come on, where's this narrative coming from? You know, and you know, and he does recognize that Tua does need to improve. You know, there's a lot of things that Tua needs to improve on, like he needs to get rid of the ball faster. He needs to, work on his eye progression and stuff. But as much emphasis as he puts on Tua improving, the whole team around them has to improve as much as Tua has to, and that includes his wide receiver core. I mean, look at Tua.
And
Tua
his
had the lowest
line.
percentage.
Yeah.
Right. And, and amongst the 7 quarterbacks, with at least 20 RPO pass attempts this season, Tua had the lowest percentage of yards that came after the catch. Yeah. And it's lower than guys than even Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that. And as well, you need improvement on the offensive line as well. You need guys that can communicate better than last season. Especially in the interior O-line, you need guys that can help Tua identify defenses and blitzes and different defensive schemes and stuff. And I think overall that would help him become a better quarterback and a better offense. And I like what Flo is doing. Building a system that complements Tua's strengths, that emphasizes on Tua's strengths. And Flo is not going to sleep on the defense. He's going to add depth. He's going to add a talent to the defense as well, whether it be through free agency and through the draft. Yep. He wants this team as much as he can. He wants this team to maximize its potential, and that's what he reminds me of. Flo reminds me a lot of Tony Sperano. Tony Sperano was a coach that he didn't have much to work with, but he wants his players to maximize their potential, and and I'm excited. And like EM said. Like he said before, we could definitely improve at quarterback with a Deshaun Watson because he is a better quarterback than Tua right now. But even if Dolphins stick with Tua and develop him, and hopefully he can become a top 10 quarterback, let's say for this, for next season, I'm excited either way. And I'm with Ryan on that too. I'm excited. The Dolphins have not been in this position, I think, since Jay Fiedler was playing, since the Sam Madisons of the world and stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited as all of you guys. So let's go. Fins up.
Agreed, man.
Very good. Well said, bro. Well said.
EM, roll it, brother. It's
can you hear me,
my friend?
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah,
perfectly.
Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah, man. Just shout out to everybody. Everybody on the panel and everybody in the comments, even the haters, for coming out and supporting the platform. You know what I mean? Phinside didn't fail is the truth. We all know that. So with that being said, man, What stuck, it's very encouraging for me as a fan, bro, to hear Flores today. What stuck out to me the most when I listen to Flores, I look at his body language, I look at, his tone, listen to his tone of voice, and, how he was very, very deliberate, with his, with his wording, what he was saying. He projected confidence, bro. He projected not only into Tagovailoa, but the team as a whole, bro. I truly believe, and I've been saying this since day one, I truly believe that this staff, this coaching staff, this front office, they truly believe they can win. They have a winner with this team. They have the foundation already established. They just have to supplement appropriately to get us to that next level. And a lot of that depends on Tua's development as well. But again, he reiterates his support for Tua is very encouraging for me as a fan. And again, Flores is about business. Flores is about production. This is a production-based business. I think if they had any kind of doubt of what Tua can become, you know what I mean? I don't think he would be as at least publicly, he wouldn't be as, it's like he has a high level of conviction with this kid's ability, with this kid's upside. So the fact that he keeps, expressing that and he's firm about that publicly is very encouraging. So again, not only Tua, but the team as a whole. We got a winner here, ladies and gentlemen. I truly believe big things are coming with this team. Another aggressive offseason, mildly aggressive. They're not going to be as aggressive in free agency as they were last year, but there's going to be a level of aggression applied to the offseason. And then once we get to the draft, if they stick with Tua Tagovailoa, we all know how I feel about it. Tua, the player as well as the person. But if we go with Watson as well, it's a win-win. So at the end of the day, there's tons. I can't ever remember being, it being a better time to be a Dolphin fan than we are than where we are right now. So at the end of the day, bro, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is all day, every day.
Yes, sir.
And guys, some numbers just came in. Joseph Asai, he measured in at 6'3", just a little bit over 6'3 and a half, 256 pounds, 33 and 7/8 inch arms. He had a 41.5 vert. He had a 10-foot, 11-inch broad, and he put up 19 reps. And y'all know how I feel, and I think this is where me and EM are really we meet. We're on the whole picking up an Aaron Jones or Lombardi Lenny if he hits the free agent market. All of a sudden, at 18, you can go for that defense. You can go for that edge who suits our scheme as that stand-up outside linebacker, or you can kick in, or you can get that linebacker like a Zavin or whoever you got your eyes on. It opens up. Like if Quiddy Pay's there, Joseph Asai's there, Zavin's probably going to be sitting there. It opens up everything you can do at 18. So that's why I think, I know I want Lindsley, but Aaron Jones is right there because I know a center we can get in the second and beyond, and he can be quality. That running back you might have to reach on, and I think we all don't want to reach on that running back.
Exactly.
So you got to ask yourself, because they're kind of the same. $12 million for Aaron Jones or an 18th pick for the running back of your choice. Draft capital, financial capital, they're kind of the same there, right? So it opens that 18th pick up a ton, man. So also Caden Stearns, shout out to Caden Stearns. He had a 42-inch vert, a 10.8 broad, and he put up 14 reps. So
nice.
All right, guys, I will be back tonight. I just did confirm with Ryan Roberts while we went through 24 minutes of final thoughts. Not as bad as when we have Russell up here for final thoughts. Let me add that. And, in terms of how long, that was like a 2-hour final thoughts because everyone wanted a piece of that. So, guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Phinside. If you'd like to become a patron, patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. All those cool emojis, all those names in green, everything you're seeing, those are from the new membership levels. There's a $2.99, $4.99, $6.99 level. If you look right below where the likes are, it says join. Click on that. There's also a link below in the description where you can join. Patch5.com. Use code Phinside for 20% off your purchase. Also, teespring.com/stores/Phinside the NFL. Official Inside the NFL merch. And I just want to shout out because I got 31 patrons and I got the memberships are going off the hook right now. I appreciate you all.
That's what's up.
So shout out to Rhino Sith, Fake Spike, KL Day, Ramon Casillas, Seth, Slim Pickens, Big Time, Red Dino, Marino's Goat, Conflict. Obviously, y'all already know what time it is. You Patreon show so much love. Your boy Trev, Josh, Tranquilize, Jazz 803, Martin, Zo Vegas 75, the Arkham Elf, Irving, Drew Boo, the show. Did I miss someone here? I think I might. Oh, Keith Davis. I know I missed you, homie. And then obviously J Love, T, Todd, the enigmatic man, and Chalk Vanilla Straw. Appreciate the patrons. Now for the members, shout out to all of y'all. Damian Deese, your boy Trev, Talking Vegas all day, MF Fins 1, Ricketic, Greg A, Irving Figura, KA all day, Seth, Drew Boo, Rhino, Twizzle, Law, Timothy, Yawa, Derek Higgins, man, like Bruce One, Marino's Goat, Foxing Around, Michael Vowell, Timothy, and then obviously our latest Joe Butters. Appreciate all of the members, all the Patreons. Continue using the perks. The private streams will be coming for all of you. Appreciate everyone showing love. I'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock. We'll be talking about the draft with Ryan Roberts from the Draft Bible and Sports Illustrated. It's going to be draft night. We're going to break it down. And then tomorrow night, 8:30, Eric Crocker, former NFL DB and Arena Football League DB. We'll be talking. EM's going to want us to know. We're going to be talking about DBs, and we're going to be talking about receivers in the draft. We're going to be talking about X. We're going to be talking about Needham. We're going to be talking about everything. So next 2 nights are big. And then next Wednesday, I believe free agency opens up at 4 p.m., right? If I'm correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, at 2 p.m. next Wednesday, to get you prepped, me and the homie Benjamin Albright, we will be here and we will be discussing free agency and the draft. So you're not going to want to miss that to get you prepped for free agency. And then I know we're going to be going live after 4 p.m., baby.
I ain't gonna want to miss that one either, bro. You already know.
Yes, sir, man. So, and we'll probably only have them till about 3 o'clock, and then we'll end this stream. And then I guarantee you, after 4, when those deals start rolling in, we'll be going. So, all right, guys. So here we go. I'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock. Until then, y'all already know what time it is.
Be safe,
Fins
everybody.
all day, every day.
Fins up.
Fins up.
All day.